Cucamonga Quakes Baseball. Brought to you in part by the Ontario Airport Marriott, Vineyard Bank, Charter Media, Galliano Winery, the City of Laughlin Convention and Visitors Bureau, Spence, Chipotle, Red Roof Inn, the City of Rancho Cucamonga, Allstate Insurance, Farmer John, Xbox, Yellow Book USA, and NationwideSurveys.com. KWRF 1370 is the radio home for Quakes baseball all season long. Now, here's the voice of the Quakes, Rob Sinclair.
Well, thank you very much, and indeed, here we are. The epicenter is the setting once again where tonight the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes will look to build off of an impressive 9-4 victory last night over Inland Empire as they turned the ball over to the right-hander Fernando Rodriguez here in Game 3 of a 5-game series. Fans, good evening to you. My name is Rob Sinclair. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Saturday night with us here on the Quakes Radio Network, coming to you live from here in Rancho Cucamonga. We mentioned a good win for the Quakes last night, the kind of win that they used to have all the time. You know, you think back to the month of April when the Quakes went 13-10, they hit almost 300 as a team. They would just go out and just batter the opposition. And last night finally got back to that after spotting Inland Empire a run in the top of the first. Quakes got 3 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the second. The teams traded runs in the third, and then Michael Collins hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the fourth. Quakes were up 9-2 after the fourth inning of last night's ball game, and they just absolutely cruised from there. And like I said, it's the type of game that the Quakes used to play all the time. They used to go out, score early and often, and just put the game away. Finally got back to that last night as they snapped a 6-game losing streak. Jose Arredondo, in what we believe is going to be his final start in a Quakes uniform. He is expected to be called up to AA Arkansas tomorrow. Was fantastic. He was the beneficiary of all the runs. He goes 8 innings. It's his second 8-inning outing of the year. Gave up just 3 earned runs, 8 hits, a walk, 7 strikeouts, turned in his team-high 9th quality start. He was fantastic. His last pitch that he threw in a Quakes uniform went for a strikeout as he struck out Ronnie Prettyman swinging to end the 8th inning. And certainly a fitting way for Jose Arredondo to end his Quakes career, as, again, we expect that he will be called up to AA Arkansas tomorrow. And it is certainly a well-deserved call-up because, let's be honest, Jose Arredondo has nothing else to prove here at this level. Well, fans, let's take a look at what is coming up in tonight's ball game. First pitch coming up in about 15 minutes or so. Again, the pitching matchups. Fernie Rodriguez, the right-hander for the Quakes, looking for his first win since June 1st. He'll be taking on Inland Empire right-hander Sidney Bayo, who is coming off of a win his last time out against Modesto when he did not allow a hit through 6 innings. First pitch coming up in about 10 minutes or so, but as always, we have the Quakes On Deck show coming your way. Tonight we're going to sit down and talk with Quakes outfielder Pat Riley, who had a big game yesterday. Riley goes 2 for 4, had a double, also hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. That put the Quakes up for good. He scored a couple of runs, drove in 2 runs, and just had an all-around solid game. So we'll talk to him about last night's ball game, about the performance of Jose Arredondo, and certainly what he expects to see from the ball club here tonight and the rest of the way. I mean, let's not forget, folks, for as poorly a stretch as the Quakes had, and certainly they're not out of the woods yet. You know, they lost 17 out of 20 before winning yesterday. It's still only July 1st. There's still 2 months to play. There are 60 games left to play in this season. Quakes are only 3.5 games out of first. So it's a long season, and we'll talk about what Pat Riley expects to see the rest of the way. So we'll go ahead right now and step aside for 60 seconds. When we come back, it's the pregame comments of Quakes outfielder and DH Pat Riley. That's coming up in 1 minute right here on the Quakes Radio Network.
The Charter Media Friday Family Fun Pack is back. Get 4 club seats, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas at Quakes Baseball, 2 Boomers Meet Your Golf Passes, 2 Cold Stone Creamery Buy 2 Get 2 free coupons, and a voucher for a free on-demand movie from Charter Media, all for just $38. The Charter Media Friday Family Fun Pack is available May 26th, June 16th, June 30th, and August 25th. For more information, call the Quakes Ticket Office at 909-481-5252.
This is Rob Sinclair, the voice of the Quakes at the Ontario Airport Marriott. If you're looking for a great place to eat, the Ontario Airport Marriott features the D Street Sports Bar and Grill, open daily from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m., the Pacific Grill for the fine diner, or stop by the 24-hour Pacific Deli. The Ontario Airport Marriott is located at 2200 East Holt Boulevard, just off the 10 freeway. the Ontario Airport Marriott, a proud sponsor of your 2006 Quakes on the radio.
Sinclair. We're talking now with Quakes outfielder Pat Riley. And Pat, really nice ball game yesterday. You guys defeat Inland Empire by a final count of 9-4. Scored all 9 runs in the first 4 innings. All 9 runs actually scored with 2 outs in the respective innings. Gave Jose Arredondo a big lead and just let the All-Star go to work. But take us through your impressions of last night's game.
As with most teams that find success, if you can get some 2-out hits where you get some runs in, you're going to be a successful team. Regardless, you're going to stay in a lot more games, and especially with a guy like Jose going, if we just give him a couple runs early, I mean, we probably only need to give him 3-4 runs max on usual, which we don't usually do anyway. But if we just give him a couple runs, then it just kind of takes off and get a little momentum that way with him pitching. But last night, we just kept, we kind of stayed with him. Unlike what we've been doing in the past couple weeks, we followed up a couple-run inning with another one right back-to-back, and we did that for the first 4 innings, so it's kind of nice.
Now, you had a big 2-run homer there in the bottom of the first that, off the bat, I wasn't sure how far it was going to go, and it looked like you got it up in the jet stream. It just kept going until it got over the wall in right center. That made it 3-1 and put you guys ahead to stay. But did you think that you had gotten all of it or enough of it when you hit it?
I was definitely hoping that I got enough of it. But, yeah, I caught it pretty good off the barrel. I was just hoping that I got it out enough instead of just up high, but it's carried out. Usually the wind blows a little out to right, so that may have helped a little bit too.
Well, eventually last night it was 5-1 after the second, and then Inland Empire loaded the bases with nobody out in the top of the third. And what I thought was the absolute turning point of the game was that Arredondo got a double play grounder to get a run and then a little line drive on the infield. And just like that, you go from having the tying run at the plate to being out of the inning with only 1 run having scored. He defused that situation, and I thought that was definitely the turning point. You guys went and scored the next 4 runs. You're up 9-2, and you're just cruising there. But talk about Arredondo being able to get out of that situation.
That's pretty much why he's been as dominant as he has this year. It shows in his ERA, maybe not the win-loss column, but been able to make big pitches when he needs to and gets out of jams if he ever gets into them, which isn't all the time. But just making a big pitch or making a good play behind him, and things just start happening, and kind of helps out the hitters too. Getting good plays kind of quickens the innings and just sets a good tempo.
Yeah, we're talking with Quakes outfielder Pat Riley here on the Quakes on Deck show. Let's take a look at this ball club. There's still so much baseball left to be played. It was a bad stretch, and certainly you can't say that one game cures everything and you guys are out of the woods. But I mean, it's only July 1st. There are still 2+ months left to play. You guys are only I think 3.5 out today. There's so much time, but how do you guys go about turning things around and hopefully winning that second half title and getting yourselves into the playoffs? Is it just the whole one day at a time approach?
Yeah, it's such a long season. We have over 60 games left still, so 3.5 games is really nothing at this point. I mean, if we were looking at 3.5 games with 20 to go, we'd be feeling like we're in a pretty good position to still make a surge at it. So we just got to keep plugging away, very big cliche or whatever, one game at a time, that sort of thing. But you just got to, inning by inning, try to win each inning if you can, and just go after it like that.
A couple more questions for you. You talked about winning and taking it one day at a time. You were a part of the Pioneer League championship team in Orem last year. Talk about the experiences that you can take from Orem, because a lot of guys on this team were down in Orem with you last year, so they've experienced winning a championship in professional baseball. How do you carry those lessons over from one year to the next?
The biggest thing is Orem, we kind of struggled throughout a lot of the year, and then at the end of the second half, we just went on a hot streak, and we carried that through the playoffs. We went on a streak where we won 10 games in a row near the end of the season or something like that. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and we just hung with it. We always knew there was still this chance. We never gave up on the season. Everybody just stayed together. We didn't really have any problems on the team or anything like that. Guys fighting and stuff like that. So you just got to kind of stay together and just know that it's going to work out.
Well, one final question for you, Pat. We'll turn our attention back to tonight's ball game. Got the right-hander Fernando Rodriguez going. Game 3 of a 5-game series. What do you expect to see out Fernando Rodriguez tonight?
I hope that he just throws his game. Just go out there and throw strikes, get ahead of batters, and just keep the ball down. He can do a lot of good things, so hope he sticks to that.
All right, that's what we're going to be looking for. Those right there, the pregame comments of Quakes outfielder Pat Riley. Pat, appreciate the time. Best of luck here tonight. Congratulations on the win last night, and nice to see you adhering to the company dress code with the socks pulled up.
Thanks.
Now stay tuned for Quakes baseball coming up right here on the Quakes Radio Network.
A few years ago, a small bank from Rancho, Cucamonga started sending shockwaves through the banking industry. Vineyard Bank rolled through Southern California with a creative force that is changing the way we bank. We created small ripples at first, with innovative ways to move money quickly and effectively, where it would help businesses and families the most. Then our reputation grew stronger thanks to personal bankers with a can-do attitude committed to building lasting relationships. Vineyard Bank's financial performance was off the scale. A fast-growing bank with a rising stock. New, customer-friendly branches offering easy access to your money, opening throughout the Southland. Online banking on our award-winning website at www.vineyardbank.com. That's Vineyard Bank, proud to be your hometown bank, proud to support our hometown team. For more information, please call 1-800-442-4996. That's 1-800-442-4996.
Hey folks, Rob Sinclair here to tell you about the good people at Nationwide Surveys and what they can do for your business. They can handle customer surveys, employee feedback, and even online and on-site data collection. That's Nationwide Surveys, reliable feedback, fast. Call them today at 1-800-252-0640 or visit them at nationwidesurveys.com. That's 800-252-0640 or online at nationwidesurveys.com.
National anthem. Now first pitch coming up in just a couple of minutes between the Quakes and the Inland Empire 66ers here in Game 3 of a 5-game series. Vance, before we get to the starting lineups in this one, the colors are being taken off the field by one of our Cub Scout troops. Before we go any farther, we have reached the top of the 7 o'clock hour. Why don't we go ahead right now and step aside for station identification at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. You're listening to the Quakes Radio Network.
You're listening to Rob Sinclair and Quakes Baseball right here on AM 1370 KWRM, Corona, California.
So the colors have been taken off the field, and now the right-hander Fernando Rodriguez will sign one autograph for his Field of Dreams players, and will begin his warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at how Inland Empire lines up against Fernie Rodriguez tonight. The 66ers are 5-2 in the second half. They are in first place by a half game over High Desert in the California League Southern Division. The Sixers, of course, won the first half title, so they are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs come September. 5-2 in the second half, 44-33 overall for Inland Empire. Leading it off for the Sixers is the center fielder Brent Johnson. Then it's the left fielder Casey Creddyman will hit third. In the middle of the order, Brian Schweiger is the DH. He will bat cleanup. The first baseman is Matt Rogelstad. He hits fifth. Then batting sixth and playing second base is Jack Arroyo. In the bottom third of the order, Chris Colton is in right field. He'll bat seventh. The number 8 hitter is the catcher, J.B. Tucker. And rounding things out in the 9-hole, the switch-hitting shortstop, Jeffrey Dominguez. So again, for the Sixers, they go with Johnson, Craig and Prettyman, Schweiger, Rogelstad, and Arroyo, followed by Colton, Tucker, and Dominguez. And the starter tonight for Inland Empire is the right-hander, Sidney Bayo. So there you have part one of the starting lineups. We'll give you part two in the bottom half of the first inning. As Fernando Rodriguez is in the midst of his warm-up tosses, the vitals on Fernie, a right-hander from El Paso, Texas, 6'3", 210 pounds. Rodriguez just had his 22nd birthday a couple of weeks ago, an 18th round pick out of El Paso Community College back in 2003. On the season, Fernando Rodriguez with a record of 6-4 and a 4.66 earned run average. We mentioned in the pregame show, Fernie looking for his first win since back on June 1st when he came on for his only relief appearance of the year. That was the day against the Lancaster Jethawks that the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner Bartolo Colon started, went 4 innings on Fernie Rodriguez's regular day to pitch. Then Fernie came in, went the last 5, and ended up getting the win. Since then, in his last 4 starts, Rodriguez 0-2 with an ERA of almost 6 in his last 4 starts. See if he can turn it around tonight in his first start of the year against Inland Empire. Last night, Jose Arredondo got the win for the Quakes in his first start of the year against the 66ers, and we'll see if Fernie Rodriguez can keep that form going here tonight. As Brent Johnson is getting ready to stand in from the right side, he'll lead things off. Umpires tonight, Jonathan Conrad calling the balls and strikes, and Ryan Stockdale is on the bases. As Johnson stands in from the right side, Fernie Rodriguez has the side, kicks and deals. And on the first pitch, a fastball for a called strike 1 as we are underway at 7:06 this evening. Right-hander against right-hander. Rodriguez home quickly with the 0-1. Curveball, that's on the outside corner. And just like that, 0-2 on the Inland Empire center fielder, Brent Johnson. He's hitting .307 this year with 1 home run and 27 runs batted in. 0-2, back to the curveball, and this one downstairs. That's 1-2. Quakes going with the home whites tonight. White tank tops, white pants, black undershirts, black caps, and black socks. 1-2 to Johnson. Fastball tapped foul up the third base side. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Inland Empire wearing the road reds. The red tops, the blue numbers, and the white stripe along the sides, gray pants, blue caps. A little bit of everything on those uniforms for Inland Empire. And something else about the Quakes tonight, almost all the players are going with the rally socks look. Even if the socks aren't pulled up all the way to the knees like they are for Fernando Rodriguez, everybody is showing at least some socks, which is done by design. We'll talk about that in just a second as Johnson steps out. Down in the clubhouse before the game today, and Bobby Mitchell came in and addressed the team and said that guys needed to stop pulling the pants all the way down onto their shoelaces. There's a fly ball into right center field. Josh LeBlanc drifts over and puts it away. And that's the first out here in the top of the first. Bobby Mitchell said that came down from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. It was an organizational thing that they want all their minor league players to have at least some sort of socks showing beneath their pants, rather than taking their pants and pulling them all the way down, kind of a la Barry Bonds, who tucks them basically underneath the heel of his cleats. Fastball down low to Casey Craig, and it's 1-0. So the Quakes complying. Everybody's got the pants rolled up at least a little bit. So 1-0. Fastball outside to Casey Craig, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. No score here in the top of the first. Base is empty with 1 away. Craig in from the left side, hitting barehanded. Rolls this one over to the second baseman, Nate Sutton. Picks, throws, got him. Score that one 4-3. Routine play for Nate Sutton over there at second base. And 2 quick outs for Fernie Rodriguez here in the top of the first. Tell you some more numbers on Fernando Rodriguez. This is his 16th appearance of the year and his 15th start. Again, the only time he did not start was when he relieved Bartolo Colon, who was down on the rehab assignment, and ended up going 5 innings in that game anyway. So for all intents and purposes, his 16th start of the year. He's given up 43 earned runs in 83 innings. Line drive off the bat of Ronnie Prettyman, past a diving Freddy Sandoval and threw into left field. And Ronnie Prettyman going the opposite way to keep this first inning alive with a 2-out base hit to left. Rodriguez with 64 strikeouts this year in 83 innings, 64 Ks and 25 walks. So right around a 2.5 to 1 ratio of strikeouts to walks. And opponents are hitting .280 against him this season. Coming off of a rough outing against High Desert. It was the third straight start that Rodriguez made against the Mavericks because of the scheduling quirk, where the Quakes played 10 games against High Desert in the span of 13 days. But last time out, Fernando Rodriguez had his shortest start of the year, lasting just 3 2/3 innings and giving up 6 runs on 8 hits. First offering to Brian Schweiger, the DH, a fastball down low. Low at the knees. That's a called strike, and it's 0-1. Scoreless game here in the top of the first. Just got underway about 5 minutes ago or so. Ronnie Freeman leading away from first, held there by Baltazar Lopez, the 0-1. Curveball tapped foul at the third base line, and the count 0-2 on Brian Schweiger. Set up the Quakes defensively for you. And we can begin in the outfield, where Pat Riley, the guest on the On Deck Show, is in left, Josh LeBlanc in center, and Cody Fuller gets the start in right field. So Riley, LeBlanc, and Fuller left to right in the outfield. Give you the infield in just a second. Tossed over to first, and Prettyman dives back in. Infield defense for the Quakes has Freddy Sandoval at third and Sean Rodriguez at short. On the right side, Nate Sutton plays second. Baltazar Lopez makes his first start since the All-Star break at first. And back behind the plate after playing first base last night is Michael Collins. Another toss over to first, and again Ronnie Prettyman flops back in. Ronnie Prettyman with good speed over there at first base. He is 8 out of 11 in stolen base attempts this year. Outfield shaded a little bit around towards right, looking for Schweiger to go the other way. Right-hander against right-hander, 0-2. And a fastball upstairs from Fernando Rodriguez. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Gary Thurman taking it all in from the third base coach's box for Inland Empire. The hitting coach Rafael Santo Domingo is coaching first as usual for the 66ers. 1-2, Prettyman on the move. A curveball called strike 3 on the outside corner. And that will do it here in the top of the first. No need for Collins to make a throw down as Schweiger strikes out looking. First strikeout of the night for Fernando Rodriguez. And despite the 2-out single by Prettyman, nothing doing for the Sixers here in the top of the first. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left. To the bottom of the first we go. Inland Empire nothing, and the Quakes coming up.
Galliano Winery, located at 1431 Wineville Road in Mariloma, California. In business since 1927, the Galliano family's roots run deep in Cucamonga Valley's winemaking history, offering a unique array of 25 varieties, including award-winning wines as well as custom labels. The Galliano tradition continues to grow in the Inland Empire. Try the latest award-winning wines in a relaxed country atmosphere of the tasting room. Enjoy a tour of our landmark complex or relax in the beautiful picnic grounds. To reach Galliano Winery, call 909-685-5376. That's 909-685-5376. Or stop by Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Pure energy.
Share excitement.
Sky Sailing at the Warner Springs Airport offers you the chance to enjoy the grace, freedom, and joy of soaring.
Sky Sailing offers rides for 1 or 2 passengers in a sailplane.
Mention this radio station and get 15% off a 40-minute ride.
Give that someone special a flight ticket or treat yourself to the panoramic view of the backcountry in a sailplane.
Call Sky Sailing at 760-782-0404. That's 760-782-0404.
Open 9 to 5 every day.
For more information, go to www.skysailing.com.
Bottom of the first inning in a scoreless ball game here at the Epicenter. Sidney Bayo has finished his warm-up tosses. And let's take a quick look at how the Quakes will line up against Sidney Bayo. Rancho Cucamonga 2-6 here in the second half. 34-44 overall. The 2-6 record puts the Quakes in last place in the California League Southern Division, 3.5 games out of first behind Inland Empire. As Josh LeBlanc, the center fielder, will lead things off, standing in from the left side, looking at a fastball for a strike from Bayo. And the count 0-1. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. J.B. Tucker, the catcher, sets up outside, and LeBlanc pops this one up. Foul ground between third and home. And the third baseman, Ronnie Prettyman, comes over from his position defensively to make the catch. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the first. Lineup for the Quakes looks like this. LeBlanc, the center fielder, just got things started with the pop-up. Now Sean Rodriguez, the number 2 hitter, will come to the plate. Hitting third and playing third tonight is Freddy Sandoval. In the middle of the order, Pat Riley back in the cleanup position. He's in left field defensively. Michael Collins makes the start at catcher. He'll bat fifth. Then batting sixth and DHing tonight, the switch hitter Ben Johnson. Give you the bottom third of the order in just a second. As Sean Rodriguez is in for the right side. Bayo home with a curveball up high for ball one. Baltazar Lopez hits seventh. He's playing first base for the Quakes. The right fielder Cody Fuller will bat eighth, and rounding things out in the 9-hole, the second baseman Nate Sutton. There's a fastball behind Sean Rodriguez. That one got away from Sidney Bayo. And the count 2-0. So again for the Quakes, LeBlanc, Rodriguez, and Sandoval. Riley, Collins, and Johnson, followed by Lopez, Fuller, and Sutton. And the starter again, the right-hander, Fernando Rodriguez. Here's the 2-0 to Sean Rodriguez. Swung on and fouled back over the roof and out of play. And it is 2-1. No score here in the bottom of the first. Base is empty with one away. Let's tell you about Sidney Bayo. 6'5", 185-pound right-hander. Originally from Venezuela, now resides in Mesa, Arizona. As Rodriguez tried to check his swing on the curveball, but went around. And the count evens up at 2-2. Bayo signed as a free agent back in the year 2000. Spent all of last year with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers down in the Midwest League. I'm sure he faced Sean Rodriguez a fair amount of times because Rodriguez was in Cedar Rapids last season. And, of course, figured later this season or next year at some point, these two will face each other again in the Texas League. 2-2. Curveball swung on and missed, and that's strike three. Down in the dirt, J.B. Tucker will pick it up and throw down to first to complete the strikeout. So Sean Rodriguez strikes out swinging, and there are two gone here in the bottom of the first. Quakes from here go to the Arkansas Travelers for Double-A, and the 66ers go to the San Antonio Missions in the Texas League. So any rivalries that they carry with them from the Midwest League or perhaps begin here in the California League will be transported to the east when they go to Texas. The two away, base is empty. Here's Freddy Sandoval in from the left side. Switch hitter looking at a curveball for a strike. It's 0-1. Sidney Bayo with a record of 4-4 this year and a 4.56 earned run average for Inland Empire. 0-1 to Sandoval. Inside out swing towards the hole at short. Backhanded by Jeffrey Dominguez. Long throw across, and it's in time to get Freddy Sandoval. That's a pretty good play by Jeffrey Dominguez. He didn't have to go all that far to get that ball. Just had a long throw. And Sandoval, who had that little head start going from the left-hand batter's box, still gets thrown out by a step as Dominguez had plenty on that throw. So the Quakes go in order here in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We go to the second. No score between the Quakes and the Sixers.
For 60 years, you've included Best Western in your family's summer vacation. To say thanks, the Best Western hotels of California, Hawaii, and Nevada are offering a limited edition $50 Best Western travel card and up to 20% off your stays with their baseball fan rate. Experience the best summer ever with the Best Western hotels of California, Hawaii, and Nevada, because when you stay any 6 nights with them through August 19th, you'll receive a $50 travel card to use toward a future Best Western stay anywhere in the world, including the 338 hotels in California, Hawaii, and Nevada. Visit them today at bestwesternbaseball.com or call 866-743-8738, and remember to book the baseball fan rate.
Great moment in Laughlin history. Jeff from Barstow tries out his new camera phone.
Hey, Jeff sending pictures from Laughlin.
Looks like you rented a jet ski.
Cool. Nice floating by a pontoon boat.
Are there girls on there?
Yeah, those are girls.
Are they hot?
Yeah, and they're really tan. I think he's in a casino now.
Are the girls with him?
They're blowing on his dice. Nice, he won.
Good. He owes me money.
They're in a nightclub now.
Whoa.
Knee-deep in females.
Oh, that never happens when we're with them.
Hello?
Hey, man, you guys should come down here.
Jeff says hello.
Uh-huh.
I hate Jeff.
Laughlin, Nevada. Founded on fun.
I don't want to know what that is.
For information, call 1-800-4-LAUGHLIN or go to visitlaughlin.com.
It's the top of the second here in Rancho Cucamonga. Fernando Rodriguez has finished his warm-up tosses. Gave up only a two-out single back in the first. Here in the second, he'll get Matt Rogelstad, Jack Arroyo, and Chris Colt in 5, 6, and 7. Due up for Inland Empire. As Matt Rogelstad will stand in from the left side. Hitting .221, no home runs, 14 RBIs, and the fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Outfield straight away. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter from the windup. 0-1. Lash foul back against the screen. And Fernando Rodriguez has Rogelstad on the ropes, 0-2. Now Rogelstad from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Signed as a free agent back in 2003. Back for his second year in Inland Empire. This one swung on and lifted back foul over our heads and out of play. And the count stays at 0-2. Beautiful night for baseball here in Southern California. And a relatively clear night tonight as well. 0-2. Curveball downstairs. And it's 1-2. Actually have a pretty good view of the mountains out beyond the left field and center field wall. Kind of make out the mountains out beyond the right field corner. Fastball downstairs, and it's 2-2. But you kind of have to know where to look in order to make the very vague outline of those mountains. There's the 2-2 from Fernando Rodriguez. Reached at and fouled away down the left field side. Fans will race after that one as it rattles around over by the concession stands there in the third base corner. It's the Hot Corner Cafe down there on the third base side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Michael Collins wants an inside target. 2-2. Fastball came low and outside and gone from 0-2 to 3-2 on Matt Rogelstad now. Well, Fernando Rodriguez on the hill and Rogelstad at the plate are in the shadow. 3-2. Ground ball rolled slowly to Nate Sutton at second base. Picks, throws, got him. Score that one 4-3. Routine for Sutton. And that's the first out here in the top of the second. Fans want to remind you that Quakes Baseball is brought to you in part by Chili's Bar and Grill in Rancho Cucamonga. Located at 10598 Foothill Boulevard. Enjoy the atmosphere inside or the convenience of Chili's to go. That's Chili's. Live a little. Well, base is empty. And here's Jack Arroyo, the second baseman. Showing bunt, popped it up, and this will get back over the screen. Look out as it comes into the seats. Bounced off the concourse and all the way down to the front row right behind home plate. And the count 0-1. No score here in the top of the second. Jack Arroyo hitting .348 with 8 hits in his first 8 games for Inland Empire. 8 hits in 23 at-bats for Arroyo. No home runs, 5 RBIs. The 0-1. Fastball fouled back off the top of the screen. And Arroyo now behind in the count 0-2. Arroyo had a big game back on Thursday night. Got aboard 4 times. Then went 0 for 4 with a strikeout last night as the curveball misses down and away. And it is 1-2. Right-hander against right-hander. Arroyo from Mountain View, California. 1-2. Fastball down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fernando Rodriguez has been stuck on 6 wins since June 1st. Although he is the team leader with those 6 W's. This one popped up on the infield. Who wants it? First base side, Baltazar Lopez calling for it, and in foul ground, he will make the catch. 2 away, 3 straight outs for Fernando Rodriguez after giving up that single to Ronnie Prettyman back in the first. And with the bases empty, here's the right fielder, Chris Colton. Lights have been turned on. Intermingling with the setting sun off to our left, and a good crowd on hand here tonight. Just noticed that in my peripheral vision. First offering to Chris Colton, swung on and fouled back. It's 0-1. That's amazing. I mean, you got the crowd right in front of you, and sometimes I'll be sitting here calling a game, and you're so focused on the action on the field that you don't really notice the crowd. You just kind of get tunnel vision. 0-1 in the air to center field. Thinking fast, coming in, and not getting there in time is Josh LeBlanc, as Colton gets a little soft single into center field. Nothing Josh LeBlanc could do about that one. As Colton picks up his first hit of the night, as in the first inning. Inland Empire will keep the inning alive with a 2-out base hit. But yeah, when you actually take the time and actually look around and see how many people are here, good crowd on hand here tonight. We're expecting a big crowd on Monday as well. We have fireworks after the game tonight and fireworks after the game on Monday. We celebrate Independence Day a day early. There's J.B. Tucker, the catcher, number 8 hitter in the Inland Empire lineup. In from the right side, first pitch, a fastball high. Colton trying to steal second, and Michael Collins gunned him out. Colton got a good jump, but Collins had a high fastball from which to throw, and he guns out Chris Colton. And that will do it here in the top of the second. So much for that 2-out single. No runs on a hit, no errors, and none left. To the bottom of the second we go. Rodriguez faces the minimum in a scoreless ball game.
Fans, for all your real estate needs, call Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga at 909-373-1768. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, call on the name you can trust. Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga, partners in our community. With multiple offices to serve the Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, and Orange County areas, they can help you whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing. That's Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga, partners in our community. Call them at 909-373-1768. Again, 909-373-1768.
When you apply a pesticide, it can wash off your lawn or garden when you water, wasting money and polluting local waterways. That's because runoff from lawns, gardens, streets, and sidewalks in San Bernardino County drains directly into the Santa Ana River without treatment. And if you are accidentally washing pesticides off your lawn and garden, they will be carried into the river. Here are a few choices you can make to save money and protect our local environment. Follow the directions on the product. Extra pesticide just gets washed off your lawn or garden. Use pesticide sparingly. Spot apply to selected areas rather than blanket apply to the entire lawn or garden. Avoid applying pesticides before a rainstorm. When watering your lawn and garden, make sure water does not run into the street and carry pesticide chemicals with it. Use non-toxic products for your garden and lawn whenever possible. If you must use pesticides, make sure they are in sealed, waterproof containers that cannot leak. When it is time to dispose of leftover chemicals, call 1-800-253-2687 for the household hazardous waste collection site near you. For more pollution prevention tips, please call the City of Rancho Cucamonga at 909-477-2740, extension 4060.
Bottom of the second in a scoreless ball game, and the Quakes getting ready to send the middle third of the order against the right-hander Sidney Bale. Pat Riley will lead things off, then the catcher Michael Collins and the DH Ben Johnson, 4, 5, and 6. Due for the Quakes here in the bottom of the second. Going back to how the top of the second inning ended, Chris Colton was caught stealing. It was 2-4. Was not sure if Nate Sutton or Sean Rodriguez applied the tag, but it was the second baseman Nate Sutton. So Colton caught stealing 2-4 to end the top of the second. Here in the bottom of the second, Pat Riley takes a fastball inside for ball one. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Bayo out of the lineup, the 1-0. Fastball, strike at the knees, then we're even up. 1-1. Pat Riley hitting .280 this season. 6 home runs and 29 runs batted in. 1-1. This one swung on and popped up into shallow left center field. Dominguez, the shortstop, going out. He'll get called off by the left fielder, Casey Craig. Actually, kind of looks like he had that ball rolling around in his glove. Looks like he almost caught it twice out there in shallow left center. So the Quakes left fielder, Pat Riley, flies out to his counterpart, Casey Craig, who comes in from left to make the catch. And that's out number one here in the bottom of the second. I'll bring Michael Collins, the all-star catcher, to the plate. We take a look at how Inland Empire lines up defensively. Haven't done that yet. 66ers outfield looks like this. Casey Craig, who just made that catch in left. Brent Johnson in center and Chris Colton in right. They cover a lot of ground out there in the outfield. Craig, Johnson, and Colton. Left to right on the out. Here's a fastball inside, and what a surprise. Michael Collins gets hit by a pitch. Didn't see that one coming, not at all. Michael Collins, it's only happened 17 times previously this year. So he's plunked for the 18th time this season. That's almost twice as much as the next closest player on the Quakes ball club. Cody Fuller has been hit 10 times this year. So Collins aboard, and here's Ben Johnson, the DH. Switch hitter in from the left side as Bayo, the right-hander, will work from the stretch now. First offering, fastball, outside corner, and a strike. It's 0-1. Told you about the outfield. On the infield, Inland Empire has Ronnie Prettyman at third base and Jeffrey Dominguez at short. On the right side, Jack Arroyo plays second. Matt Rogelstad plays first. And the catcher, J.B. Tucker. There's the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Ben Johnson. But the curveball in the dirt, getting away from J.B. Tucker. And the wild pitch will move Michael Collins into scoring position at second base. So the count evens up. 1-1 on Ben Johnson. So I take that back, 0-2, because he swung at that pitch. So 0-2 the count on Ben, but also has an RBI opportunity. And if he can come through and bring Michael Collins home from second. First time either club has had a runner in scoring position tonight. 0-2 to BJ. Fastball high outside, and it's 1-2. Ben Johnson batting .253 this year. 7 home runs, which is third most on the club, and 27 runs batted in. Outfield straight away on him. 1-2 from Sidney Bayo. Curveball reached at and lifted into shallow left center field. This time it'll be the center fielder, Brent Johnson, who makes the catch. No chance for Michael Collins to move up on that one. So Tubby stays at second. And with 2 gone, Baltazar Lopez will try his hand. No score here in the bottom of the second. This is the first time we've seen Baltazar Lopez post All-Star break. Whereas it did not help that Inland Empire used left-handed pitchers in each of the first 2 games of this series. No reason to put Lopez in there if he's just going to go lefty-lefty for 3 or 4 at-bats tonight. Curveball up high to Lobe, and it's 1-0. Well, I expect Lopez to be in the lineup a little bit more than he normally has been. Of course, Cliff Remley called up to AAA. Got the call yesterday, joined the Salt Lake Bees in Sacramento for their series with the Sacramento River Cats. There's a strike to Lopez, and it's 1-1. Talked to Bobby Mitchell before the game, and he said that we will not be getting anybody new in to replace Cliff Remley. Again, we're only expecting Remo to be up in AAA for a week or 2. There's a little pop fly, shallow left field. Thinking fast, could be trouble, but it's caught on the run by Casey Craig. If that ball gets down, Michael Collins maybe has a chance to score from second base, but Casey Craig, we talked about the Inland Empire outfielders being able to cover a lot of ground, came racing in to make that catch on the run. As Lopez flies out, and that will do it for Rancho here in the bottom of the second. Collins got aboard him. He is hit by a pitch for the 18th time, but he's left at second base. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. We go to the third, scoreless here at the Epicenter.
How How far a team goes in the season often depends on the coach. It's the coach's job to make the right decision every time. When you're deciding on a mortgage loan, the knowledgeable staff at HealthQuest Mortgage can coach you in the right direction. Any type of credit is accepted, and they have rates starting at just 1%. Credit card debt, you can save on interest by consolidating it into a home loan. Find out more by calling 909-945-8878 or log on to HealthQuestMortgage.com.
HealthQuest Mortgage. The journey begins here.
The 2006 Rancho Cucamonga Quakes aren't always playing baseball at the Epicenter. During their downtime, you can catch them playing the official gaming console of the 2006 Quakes, Xbox 360. Xbox 360 is the most powerful video game and entertainment system out there, delivering the best games, the next generation of premier Xbox Live online gaming services, and unique digital entertainment experiences that revolve around you. Xbox 360, available now at your local retailer. Jump in at www.xbox.com for more information.
Hey folks, Rob Sinclair here to tell you about the good people at Nationwide Surveys and what they can do for your business. They can handle customer surveys, employee feedback, and even online and on-site data collection. That's Nationwide Surveys, reliable feedback, fast. Call them today at 1-800-252-0640 or visit them at nationwidesurveys.com. That's 800-252-0640 or online at nationwidesurveys.com.
Top of the third here at the Epicenter. No score in this one as Fernando Rodriguez is ready to face the catcher for Inland Empire, J.B. Tucker. Tucker to be followed by Jeffrey Dominguez and then Brent Johnson, 8-9-1 for the 66ers here in the top of the third. Right-hander against right-hander. First offering to Tucker on the outside corner. That's a call. Strike one. Outfield straight away on J.B. Tucker. One of three catchers on this 66ers roster. Fastball down low, and it's 1-1. Tucker hitting .204 with a home run and 6 RBIs. That's in 17 ball games with San Bernardino, or with Inland Empire, I should say. 1-1. Little jam shot, a slow roller up the third base side. Had to be barehanded by Freddy Sandoval and throw, not in time. That's baseball, folks. Fernando Rodriguez makes a good pitch, jams J.B. Tucker, hits a little dribbler up the third base line. His hands are stinging him. And sure enough, he beats it out for an infield single, because it was hit so slowly that Sandoval had no chance. Sandy made it a close play, but there's nothing he could do with that one. Third hit of the game for Inland Empire. They have all three hits in this ball game. Quakes do not have a hit through the first 2 innings. And the leadoff man on for the first time tonight is Jeffrey Dominguez. The switch hitter stands in for the left side. Fastball up high and away from Fernie Rodriguez, and it's 1-0. Dominguez hitting .250. That's 2 hits in 8 at-bats. Got called up after the All-Star break to replace Matt Tuiasosopo. Here's a line drive the opposite way over a leaping Freddy Sandoval and into left field. So back-to-back singles for Tucker and Dominguez to start things here in the top of the third. And Inland Empire with a couple of ducks on the pond for the center fielder and leadoff man, Brent Johnson. Fernie Rodriguez has made his first turn through the order. No runs, but 4 hits. No walks and a strikeout. And Rodriguez has actually given up 3 straight hits. One to Colton to end the second, and then Colton was caught stealing to end that inning. And now, of course, the 2 singles to Tucker and Dominguez to start things here in the third. Still a scoreless game here in the top of the third, but Inland Empire threatening as Brent Johnson is in from the right side. Right-hander against right-hander. Johnson flied out to center field back in the first. Outfield straight away. Sandoval in on the grass at third. As Fernando Rodriguez wheels off, and Brent Johnson gives nothing away at the plate. Baltazar Lopez at first base, creeping into the infield grass as well. Now Johnson will show bunt, gets it down right back to the pitcher, Fernando Rodriguez. Only play is to first, and he'll take the out there. But give Brent Johnson credit for a sacrifice bunt, as he is retired 1-3, with J.B. Tucker going to third and Jeffrey Dominguez going to second. So Johnson gets the job done, moves both men into scoring position. And now here's Casey Craig, the left fielder. He's in from the left side. First offering, fastball down low, and it's 1-0. It's interesting, in last night's ball game, back in the first inning, Inland Empire had a runner at third and one out, and the Quakes brought the infield in the first inning last night. Fastball down and away. Snap throw back down to third is not in time. 2-0. The count on Casey Craig. Now here in the top of the third inning in a scoreless game. Inland Empire with two men in scoring position. Still no double play in effect, but the Quakes are keeping the infield back. Check of the runners by Rodriguez. 2-0. Ground ball to the right side, and this will bring home a run. Nate Sutton will throw out Casey Craig at first base, but J.B. Tucker comes in to score. And that puts Inland Empire on top 1-0. So the Quakes happy to trade a run for an out, and Inland Empire takes advantage by getting the game's first run. For Casey Craig, that is his fifth RBI in his fifth game. As Tucker scores and Jeffrey Dominguez goes to third, there are two away. And here's Ronnie Prettyman, who singled back in the first. Fastball strike from Fernie Rodriguez, and it's 0-1. Rodriguez back to working out of the windup. 0-1 to Prettyman. Ground ball hit hard. Pass to diving Nate Sutton, and that's through into center field as Prettyman gets his second hit of the night. And Jeffrey Dominguez comes in to score. That makes it a 2-0 game. Ronnie Prettyman gets his 30th RBI of the year. As he continues to be a thorn in the side of the Quakes. Went 1 for 4 with an RBI last night. Got on base a couple of times back on Thursday and had an RBI as well. So, an RBI in all three games of this series thus far for Ronnie Prettyman as Fernando Rodriguez chases him back to first. And he dives back in. Brian Schweiger, the DH. The man at the plate, first pitch swinging, popped it up. First base side, Baltazar Lopez has a beat on it, and he'll put it away. A step into foul ground about two-thirds of the way down the line. Schweiger pops up. That will do it for Inland Empire here in the top of the third. But not before they get a couple of runs and score first in this ball game. 2 runs on 3 hits. Tucker and Dominguez led off with singles, and both came in to score. Craig with an RBI groundout, and Prettyman with an RBI base hit to center. 2 runs, 3 hits. No Quakes errors, and a runner left aboard. To the bottom of the third we go. Inland Empire strikes first, and they lead it 2-0.
Friends and family visiting you this summer? Don't worry. Add a room instantly by calling your friends at the Red Roof Inn. Red Roof Inns offer quality rooms, friendly service, great rates, and kids stay free. Plus, as a Ready Card preferred member, you'll earn points towards free room nights. With 360 Red Roof Inns nationwide, you'll find locations everywhere, including Ontario, San Dimas, and Victorville. Visit us today at redroof.com or dial 800-RED-ROOF.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers do the walking, not the other book. Florists, grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape
you're at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Fuller ahead in the count at 1-0 as we're underway here in the bottom of the third. Quakes trailing 2-0. Sidney Bayo misses downstairs with a fastball and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Fuller, Sutton, and then Josh LeBlanc, 8, 9, and 1, due up for Rancho Cucamonga here in the bottom of the third. Right-hander against right-hander as Bayo kicks and deals, and Fuller sends this one in the air to shallow center field. It'll hold up long enough for Brent Johnson to come in and put it away. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the third. Fans want to remind you, Quakes baseball brought to you in part by the Outback Steakhouse of Ontario, located at 4492 Ontario Mills Parkway, just across from the Ontario Mills Mall. Outback Steakhouse of Ontario is the home of the world-famous Bloomin' Onion. At Outback, it's no rules, just right. Here's Nate Sutton, number 9 man in the Quakes order. In from the left side against Sidney Bayo. Now a fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Sidney Bayo spells his last name B-E-L-L-O. Sutton drives this one towards the gap in right center field. Nobody's going to get to this one. It's going to bounce against the wall. Extra bases for Nate Sutton. He's going to run through a stop sign, going to try to stretch it into a triple, and he stays standing up. Nate Sutton glanced up as he was rounding second. Looked at Bobby Mitchell, who had both his hands up and was telling him to stop at second. And Sutton ran right through the stop sign and got a triple out of it. For Nate, his 4th triple of the season. And now he's just 90 feet away from getting the Quakes on the board as they turn it over back to the top of the order with Josh LeBlanc. Quakes down 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. And with Sutton at third base and only 1 out, it is imperative that Josh LeBlanc finds a way to bring him in. Corners in, middle infield back, and here's a ground ball to second. That'll get the job done. Nice sliding stop by Jack Arroyo as he gets the out at first base, but LeBlanc comes through on the very first pitch he sees, gets the RBI ground out, and the Quakes are on the board as they are down 2-1. That's the key right there, situational hitting. LeBlanc saw the infielders playing back. They practice that in batting practice every single day. Infield back, infield in, hit and run. They absolutely grinded into these guys, and it paid off right there as Josh LeBlanc picks up his 22nd RBI of the year. So Sutton scores, base is empty now. And here's Sean Rodriguez, fastball down low, and it's 1-0. Rodriguez 0 for 1, struck out swinging back in the first. Bayo went to a curveball, left it down low. And a good hitter's count now for Sean, 2 balls and no strikes. Rodriguez hitting .292, career high 15 homers and 43 RBIs. Fouls that one away down the right field side, and it is 2-1. Outfield straight away on Rodriguez. 2-1, curveball swung on and missed. And it's even up at 2-2. Sean Rodriguez is going to have a chance to set a career high in RBIs this year, I think. Got 43 right now. His career high is 72. Which he set between Cedar Rapids and Provo back in 2004. And if Sean can get some at-bats with guys on in front of him, he's definitely going to get his fair share. Fastball down low. That's gone full now, 3-2. Freddy Sandoval waiting on deck. That triple by Nate Sutton earlier here in this third inning, the first hit of the game for the Quakes. 3-2. Bounce foul over towards Bobby Mitchell there in the third base coach's box. He'll play it off the tarp and toss it into the seats. We'll do it again, 3-2. Bobby Mitchell, as always, coaching third base. And Craig Graybeck, as usual, is coaching first. Payoff pitch again. Another curveball, and it's grounded foul over towards the third base side once again. Rodriguez and Sidney Bale in a good battle here in the bottom of the third. J.B. Tucker, the catcher, setting up outside. 3-2 from Bale. Finally got him swinging on a curveball, and that is strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Sidney Bale. Both have come at the expense of Sean Rodriguez. But the Quakes got on the board here in the bottom of the third. Nate Sutton ran through a stop sign and got himself a triple with one out. And on the very next pitch, Josh LeBlanc got an RBI ground out to score the run. So a run on a hit for the Quakes. No Inland Empire errors and no runners left. To the fourth we go. Third of the way through the game. 66ers are doubling up Rancho Cucamonga 2-1.
You wouldn't want your favorite sports team to only play offense or only play defense. So when it comes to insurance, why settle for someone that can handle only your auto policy? Bring your home and auto insurance to Allstate now, and you can save big on both. You deserve someone that can assist you more. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands? Hey, sports fans, call Allstate agent Harvey Poole at 909-989-0733 today. Subject to availability and qualifications, Allstate Insurance Company, Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, and Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you a first-time home buyer? Want to buy a home with zero down? Are you wanting to sell and wondering how much your home is worth? Well, stop wondering and log on to freecaliforniahomesecrets.com. You'll find 25 fast and easy ways to get top dollar when selling. That's freecaliforniahomesecrets.com. And Charles Fisher with America's Lending, a premier real estate organization providing you with a no-pressure approach. Call Charles Fisher with America's Lending at 909-958-5120.
You know, the goal of baseball is to get home quickly. The last thing you want to see is some player lollygagging around third when there's going to be a close play at the plate. Well, Farmer John feels the same way about ham, bacon, sausage, and hot dogs. You know, all Farmer John products are made fresh right here in the Southland. That way, they get to your home as quickly as possible. And it's a short slide into the plate. That's your plate at home. No home plate. Get fresh. Get Farmer John.
Top of the fourth, and the Quakes trailing 2-1. Fernando Rodriguez has finished his warm-up tossing. Fans, my name is Rob Sinclair. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Saturday night with us here on the Quakes Radio Network. Along with my partners in crime tonight, John Stouter and Joshua Stouter. Best in the business, doing their usual great job. I appreciate it, folks. It's like Jay-Z says. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Matt Rogelstad in from the left side. First pitch swing and a ground ball to Lopez at first. Nice sliding stop to his feet. And he'll carry it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted on the ground out right there. 1 pitch, 1 out for Fernando Rodriguez here in the top of the fourth as Rogelstad is gone. That brings us to the second baseman, Jack Arroyo. He's 0 for 1, popped up back in the second. He will dig in from the right side. Arroyo hitting .348. No homers and 5 RBIs in his first 8 games in a 66ers uniform. First offering to Arroyo. Popped up. Back over the netting. Coming this way. And we did not get the lucky hop we were looking for in order to get it into the press box here. Count goes to 0-1. Those big pop flies that go straight up the elevator shaft and come back, those are the ones you want coming into the press box, not the lasers that'll basically crack a window if they make contact well. We've had a few of those this year. Nothing right at our broadcast location as Arroyo fouls this one over towards the Quakes dugout on the third base side, and it's 0-2, but we've certainly heard them and felt them. They've impacted with the windows on the luxury suites off to our left and to our right. We're sitting here right behind home plate. Michael Collins setting up inside, 0-2 inside, and hit Jack Arroyo. And that will put him aboard with one away. So both clubs have hit a batter now. Michael Collins got hit for the Quakes back in the second inning, and we talked about it not being a surprise when Collins got hit. It was the 18th time this year that he's been hit by a pitch. But how about Inland Empire? The staff for the 66ers is on pace to hit 113 batters this year, which would break the league record, which was set by last year's Inland Empire pitching staff. First offering from Rodriguez to Chris Colton. That's a slider for a strike, 0-1. So Inland Empire, after hitting 109 batters last season to set a new California League record, on pace this year to hit 113. 0-1. And the runner on the move. This will keep him out of the double play as the ground ball was hit to Sean Rodriguez at short. Only had one option, and that was to first base. As Colton grounds out 6-3, but Arroyo, because he was moving on the pitch, is able to stay out of the double play, and he gets to second with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. Quakes trailing 2-1 here in the top of the fourth. And with Arroyo in scoring position, here's the catcher, J.B. Tucker. Right-hander against right-hander. Tucker reached on an infield single back in the third and then came around to score later that inning. As Fernando Rodriguez wheels off and looks Arroyo back to the bag at second. Inland Empire, couple of runs, 5 hits. Quakes a run on 1 hit. Neither team has made an error. The outfield straight away on J.B. Tucker. Arroyo trying to get to third and got such a good jump that not only did Collins not bother to make a throw, but Sandoval wasn't even at third base by the time Arroyo slid in. So even if Collins had wanted to make a throw, there was nobody to cover the third base bag. So an uncontested stolen base for Jack Arroyo, and now a ground ball foul outside of third will even the count at 1-1 on J.B. Tucker. And if there's been one problem for Fernando Rodriguez this year, it's been preventing guys from stealing bases on him. There's the 1-1. Reached out and foul tipped by J.B. Tucker. It's 1-2. Fernando Rodriguez this season has now, with that stolen base by Jack Arroyo, has now allowed 20 stolen bases against him. And opponents have only been caught 4 times. Fastball downstairs, and it's 2-2. So opponents are 20 for 24 in stolen base attempts against Fernando Rodriguez. That's an 83% success rate. There's the 2-2. Curveball reached out. Did he go around? He did not, says Ryan Stockdale, the base umpire. As the Quakes asked for an appeal, and he gave J.B. Tucker the benefit of the doubt. So the count goes full on Tucker now. Quakes down 2-1 here in the top of the fourth. Jack Arroyo, the runner at third base, with 2 gone. And the count full on J.B. Tucker. Rodriguez from the windup. Payoff pitch home. And the fastball missed inside for ball 4. So J.B. Tucker draws a 2-out walk. First free pass given up by Fernando Rodriguez tonight. And now we will see the shortstop, Jeffrey Dominguez. Runners at the corners for Dominguez. A switch hitter who will stand in from the left side. Dominguez singled back in the third and scored a run. Inland Empire got both of their runs thus far in the third inning. Here's a line drive sharply into the seats off to our left. Missed the fans, thankfully, and it's 0-1. And it's interesting, Fernando Rodriguez actually has more success against left-handed hitters than he does against right-handers. Usually, a right-handed pitcher has the edge on a right-handed hitter, but right-handed hitters are batting .292. 294. Toss over to first and back in safely is J.B. Tucker. Right-handers are hitting .294 against Fernando Rodriguez. Left-handed hitters hitting just .250 against him. Collins in, setting up inside as Rodriguez tries the old fake to third, fake to first. And both runners get back. 0-1, the count on Jeffrey Dominguez from Carolina in Puerto Rico. 0-1 on the way from Fernando Rodriguez. Swung on and fouled back to the netting. And the count 0-2. So Rodriguez went to a changeup there and got Dominguez out in front of it. Outfield around towards left, looking for Dominguez to go the other way. Collins with another inside target. 0-2. Line drive foul down the right field line. Thankfully foul as Dominguez turned on that fastball. And that had extra bases written all over it as Michael Collins goes out for a talk with Fernando Rodriguez. Collins had set up inside for that one. And Rodriguez missed his location, ended up throwing it right down the middle. And got away with that one as the count stays 0-2. Gary Thurman giving the signs over there at third base. Arroyo, the runner at third. Tucker, the runner at first. 2 on and 2 out. Inland Empire leading 2-1 here in the top of the fourth. Collins setting up outside this time. Rodriguez waiting for the side. 0-2. Change up down low. And it goes to a ball and 2 strikes. J.B. Tucker, the runner on first, was bluffing like he was going to try to steal second right there. Took a couple of hard steps towards second base, but stayed put over there at first. You have to be aware of maybe a double steal here. Well, Arroyo has good speed over there at third base. 1-2, pitch out, and now they've got Tucker hung up between first and second. They look back to third to keep Arroyo there. Now the throw back to first, dropped by Lopez. And now they'll go to second, and now it's dropped by Rodriguez, and coming in to score is Arroyo. What was that? It's got to be a double steal. But man, the Quakes had the pitch out. They had it all there. Lopez dropped the ball at first when Tucker was only a couple of steps from him. Then threw the ball back to second when he could have gone home and at least kept Arroyo at third. Ended up throwing the ball to second. Rodriguez dropped the ball. Now a ground ball left side. This will take a weird hop on Rodriguez, but he sticks with it, and a good strong throw to get Jeffrey Dominguez. Score that one 6-3. But a costly turn of events right there as the Quakes botch a pitch out and give Inland Empire a free run here in the top of the fourth. A run on no hits for Inland Empire. Not sure if we're going to have a Quakes error on that or not. I don't think there is, because I think it's just a double steal, but we'll see. No errors as of right now, and a runner left in scoring position. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Inland Empire back on top by a pair. It's 3-1.
The Charter Media Friday Family Fun Pack is back. Get 4 club seats, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, a Quakes baseball, 2 Boomers miniature golf passes, 2 Cold Stone Creamery buy 2 get 2 free coupons, and a voucher for a free on-demand movie from Charter Media. All for just $38. The Charter Media Friday Family Fun Pack is available May 26th, June 16th, June 30th, and August 25th. For more information, call the Quakes ticket office at 909-481-5252.
Galliano Winery, located at 1431 Wineville Road in Mariloma, California. In business since 1927, the Galliano family's roots run deep in Cucamonga Valley's winemaking history, offering a unique array of 25 varieties, including award-winning wines as well as custom labels. The Galliano tradition continues to grow in the Inland Empire. Try the latest award-winning wines in a relaxed country atmosphere of the tasting room. Enjoy a tour of our landmark complex or relax in the beautiful picnic grounds. To reach Galliano Winery, call 909-685-5376. That's 909-685-5376. Or stop by Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Back at the epicenter, bottom of the fourth. And the heart of the order due up for the Quakes was Sandoval, Riley, and Collins. 3, 4, and 5. He faced the right-hander Sidney Bayo as Freddy Sandoval shows bunt folded back in the count 1-0. Fans, we're a little bit past the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Need to step aside for station identification. You're listening to the Quakes Radio Network.
You're listening to Rob Sinclair and Quakes Baseball right here on AM 1370, KWRM, Corona, California.
1-1, the count on Freddy Sandoval. Switch hitter in from the left side. And the fastball on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Trying to figure out the scoring from that play in the top of this fourth inning. And there has been an error charge now. There's a swing and a miss by Freddy Sandoval. Excuse me, got a piece of that one. Just barely stays alive, and we'll do it again at 1-2. It's not a double steal because Tucker was not going on the pitch out. It was just a botched rundown by the Quakes. That featured a couple of missteps by Baltazar Lopez. One when he dropped the ball, if he had caught it cleanly, would have tagged the runner out, most likely. Sandoval drives this one deep towards left center field. Casey Craig going back on it. Not going to get to this one. It is off the wall. Extra bases for Freddy Sandoval. He'll stop at second with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the fourth. And the Quakes with a runner in scoring position to start the inning. For Freddy Sandoval, double number 16 on the year. Second hit of the game for the Quakes. They've both been extra base hits. Sutton had the triple back in the third, and now Freddy Sandoval with a double here in the fourth. And he's in scoring position for Pat Riley. But going back to that play in the fourth, in the top of this fourth inning, we'll wait for official confirmation as we call the plays into minor league baseball after every half inning. And we'll wait to see what the people at minor league baseball say. Here's a pickoff attempt at second base, and it caroms into center field, but the second baseman, Jack Arroyo, is basically laying on top of Freddy Sandoval, and Sandoval did not have a chance to try to go to third base. So Sidney Bayo catches a break there as he tried to pick off Sandoval from second, bounced the throw, and threw it past Arroyo, but Sandoval stays at second. Pat Riley in from the left side, resting the bat on his shoulders. Open stance. The former Arizona Wildcat on a fastball high and outside for ball one. I believe what they're going to go with is just a throwing error on Baltazar Lopez, the first baseman. And like I said, if that has to change, then we'll change it later. Fastball outside, it's 2-0 on Riley. But I think that's what they're going to go with, just a throwing error. And I have no idea how you come up with that. It was just a pitch out gone awry, a rundown gone awry. And that's what allowed Jack Arroyo to score. 2-0 to Riley. Outside, it's 3 balls and no strikes. But the Quakes were doing everything right. They were doing a good job of constantly looking back to third base, making sure that Arroyo wasn't straying too far. That's what makes it frustrating, is that they were doing everything right, and then you just had Lopez take his eye off the ball and drop it, then made a bad throw back to second when he could have gone home and at least limited the damage to only the runner from first moving up. Kept Arroyo from scoring. Didn't do that. And that's how Inland Empire got a freebie run. 3-0, and Riley pops it up. Pat Riley had the green light. 3-0, pops it up on the infield. And the third baseman, Ronnie Prettyman, will make the catch. So Riley gave him the green light to swing away. And pops up the 3-0 pitch, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the fourth. So for now, that's what we'll go with. Just a throwing error by the first baseman, Baltazar Lopez. And that's what allows Arroyo to score. The pitching coach, Scott Budner, is out for a talk with Sidney Bayo. Fans, want to remind you that Quakes Baseball is brought to you in part by Romano's Macaroni Grill of Rancho Cucamonga. Located at 10742 Foothill Boulevard, choose from more than 35 Italian specialties. Romano's Macaroni Grill, all the Italian you need to know. So here's Michael Collins with an RBI opportunity. Quakes down 3-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. Collins hit by a pitch back in the second. Right-hander against right-hander. And Sandoval got a great jump, and he's going to steal third base. Freddy Sandoval got a big lead, got a great jump against Sidney Bayo, and swipes third base. Sandoval now 16 out of 20 in stolen bases this year. As Collins is ahead in the count 1-0. Now with a 2-run lead, Inland Empire will keep the middle infield back. Corners are drawn in, but middle infield is back. 1-0 to Michael Collins. Curveball, outside corner. And it's even at 1-1. Collins hitting .303, the only Quakes player with a batting average over 300 this year. 5 home runs, and he's the team leader with 49 runs batted in. Bayo from the stretch still. 1-1. Swing and a miss on another curveball. And it is 1-2. Quakes got their only run of the game back in the third when Josh LeBlanc came through in an identical situation to this. Had a runner at third with 1 out. LeBlanc hit a ground ball to second to score Nate Sutton. Now here in the fourth, runner at third, 1 out. We'll see if Michael Collins can do the same. Outfield straight away. And time called once again. Sandoval doubled to lead off this inning. And Riley popped up, and Sandoval stole third base. There's the 1-2. Curveball swung on and fouled back. It's a bit over the roof and out of play. And it stays 1-2 on Michael Collins. Ben Johnson waiting on deck. There's a 1-2 again from Bayo. Curveball way high. And the count will even up at 2-2 on Michael Collins. Michael from Canberra, Australia. Signed as a free agent back in 2001 when he was just 16 years old. This is his 6th season of minor league baseball. 2-2. High and deep out towards center field. This will get the job done. Brent Johnson backing up, has room in the deepest part of the yard to make the catch. But Freddy Sandoval will trot home from third. And Michael Collins gets the job done with a sacrifice fly to center. And the Quakes back within a run at 3-2 now. So the Quakes playing smart baseball here tonight. They only have 2 hits, but they've maximized those hits with some stolen bases and some good situational hitting. The 2 runs have come in on an RBI ground out and now a sacrifice fly. And that takes Michael Collins to the half-century mark. Fastball outside corner. It's 0-1 on Ben Johnson. 50th RBI of the year for Michael Collins. And his 3rd sacrifice fly. Now Ben Johnson offering at the 0-1. Lifts the curveball into the seat. Off to our left, and the count 0-2 on Ben Johnson. Johnson flied out to center field back in the second. 0-2. Curveball bounced in about 2 feet before it got to the plate. And it's 1-2 on Johnson. Johnson from Bellevue, Washington, born in Seattle and played his college baseball at the University of Washington there in Seattle. 5'11", 205, the 1-2. Fastball down low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson, a 23rd round selection out of the other UW back in 2004. Of course, the only real UW is the University of Wisconsin, which we can all agree on. University of Wyoming doesn't count. University of Washington doesn't count. It is and always will be University of Wisconsin. Fastball outside, and it's full on Johnson, 3-2. Well, the University of Wisconsin also the only school that can be officially referred to as the real Big Red. University of Nebraska tries that all the time. Calling themselves Big Red? No. Here to put a stop to that. Nebraska's the other Big Red. There's a curveball up high, and that's ball 4, and Ben Johnson very patiently draws a walk. It is the first walk given up by Sidney Bayo, who does walk his fair share of batters. In his last start, Bayo went 6 innings, did not allow a run or a hit in those 6 innings, had 7 strikeouts in those 6 innings against Modesto in his last start, but also had 7 walks. So 6 innings, no runs, no hits, 7 strikeouts, and 7 walks for Bayo in his last start. There's Baltazar Lopez, fastball down low, and it's 1-0. See what Lopez can do his second time facing Sidney Bayo. Back in the second, he flied out to left. Quakes down 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Johnson off and running. Fastball for a called strike, and the throw down to second way off line by J.V. Tucker. And Ben Johnson steals the base and moves himself into scoring position. Number 5 on the year for Ben Johnson. He is perfect in that department, 5 out of 5. As the count is 1-1 on Baltazar Lopez. Now a chance for the Quakes to tie it up if Lopey can get a knock instead of way out in front of a curveball. And the count is 1-2. Baltazar Lopez hitting .248. 1 home run, 9 RBI. Outfield straight away against him. The 1-2. Curveball swung on and missed, and that is strike 3. And that will do it for the Quakes here in the bottom of the 4th. 3rd strikeout of the night for Sidney Bayo. And that does it. But Rancho Cucamonga answers the run that they gave away in the top of the 4th by taking one back here in the bottom of the 4th. Freddy Sandoval led off with a double, his 16th of the year, stole his 16th base of the season, as he swiped third and then came in to score on the sacrifice fly by Michael Collins. So a run on a hit for the Quakes. No Inland Empire errors, and the Quake leave Ben Johnson stranded in scoring position out at second base. We're through 4 complete. Go to the 5th, and the Quakes have made it a 1-run game, trailing Inland Empire 3-2.
Fans, for all your real estate needs, call Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga at 909-373-1768. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, call on the name you can trust. Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga, partners in our community. With multiple offices to serve the Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, and Orange County areas, they can help you whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing. That's Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga, partners in our community. Call them at 909-373-1768. Again, 909-373-1768.
Great moments in Laughlin history. Jeff from Barstow tries out his new camera phone.
Hey, Jeff sending pictures from Laughlin.
Looks like you rented a jet ski.
Cool. Now he's floating by a pontoon boat.
Are there girls on there?
Yeah, those are girls.
Are they hot?
Yeah, and they're really tan. I think he's in a casino now.
Are the girls with him?
They're blowing on his dice. Nice, he won.
Good. He owes me money.
They're in a nightclub now.
Whoa.
Knee-deep in females.
That never happens when we're with them.
Hello?
Hey, man, you guys should come down here.
Hey, baby. Jeff says hello.
Uh-huh.
I hate Jeff.
Laughlin, Nevada. Founded on fun.
I don't want to know what that is.
For information, call 1-800-4-LAUGHLIN or go to visitlaughlin.com.
Top of the 5th here in Inland Empire. Let's take a look at the rule book here. Official rules of Major League Baseball. Rule 10.08F. When in the scorer's judgment, and this is going back to that play in the 4th inning, as top of the order is up for Inland Empire here in the top of the 5th. Brent Johnson, Casey Craig, and Ronnie Prettyman to face the right-hander Fernando Rodriguez. The fastball strike the knees on Johnson. It's 0-1. Going back, just to set this up for you folks, back in the top of the 4th inning, there were runners on the corners with 2 outs for Inland Empire. And J.B. Tucker, the runner on first. There's a line drive back into center field for a base hit by Brent Johnson. His first hit, leadoff man aboard for the Sixers here in the top of the 5th. Quake called for a pitch out. Eventually caught J.B. Tucker, the runner on first, in a rundown. Baltazar Lopez dropped the ball, then tried to throw to second and threw that ball away. And that's when Jack Arroyo came in to score. So, and again, this is Rule 10.08F. When in the scorer's judgment, a runner attempting to steal is safe because of a muffed throw, do not credit a stolen base. Credit an assist to the fielder who made the throw, charge an error to the fielder who muffed the throw, and charge the runner with caught stealing. So even though J.B. Tucker reached second base safely, according to the rule book, you charge him with a caught stealing. Who knew? Aside from everybody who just heard that and was able to follow along. Very interesting. Casey Craig in from the left side, toss over to first, and Johnson dives back. So if you're scoring along at home with us, in addition to the throwing error charged on Baltazar Lopez, which you keep, so you don't take the error off the board, you keep the error on Lopez, but Tucker, you also give him a caught stealing, even though he made it to second base successfully. Now trying to steal second is Brent Johnson, and he gets thrown out as Michael Collins guns out his second runner of the night. Brent Johnson caught stealing, 2-4. As he was out by a wide margin there. A perfect throw from Michael Collins, and all Nate Sutton had to do was slap the tag on. Now, very next pitch, Casey Craig lines a base hit into right field. Pretty good thing that Quakes threw out Brent Johnson right there. As Craig fouls with the single, and there's one on with one out here in the top of the 5th. So, yeah, so go back to the 4th inning. I've never seen that called before. I've never seen that rule. But J.B. Tucker, even though he made it to second base successfully, because he did so on an error, gets charged with a caught stealing. Interesting stuff. The 1-on, 1-out here in the top of the fifth. Quakes down 3-2. Ronnie Prettyman in from the left side, looking at a curveball from Fernando Rodriguez. Down and in, and it's 1-0. Prettyman has a couple of hits tonight. A single in the first, and an RBI single his last time up in the third. Quakes have the infield, a double played out. 1-0 to Prettyman. Ground ball to Sutton at second base. He'll go to second for one, and the relay from Sean Rodriguez. In time, Lopez kept his foot on the bag. Yes, sir. Rafael Santo Domingo, the first base coach, up in arms. But Lopez kept his foot on the bag. The Quakes turn two, and they get out of the fifth inning despite Fernando Rodriguez giving up a couple of more hits. 4-6-3 on the double play. As it goes Sutton to Rodriguez, and a nice play by Baltazar Lopez to keep his foot on the bag. 4-6-3. And Inland Empire retired here in the top of the fifth. No runs, a couple of hits, no errors, and nobody left. A caught stealing and then a double play. We're halfway through. To the bottom of the fifth we go. Quakes trailing by a run, 3-2.
Quakes baseball brings electricity and excitement to the community. However, when it comes to the electrical system in your home or office, the last thing you want is excitement. What you do want is a safe wiring job. That's why more homeowners and businesses rely on APEC Electric. They're your local power, light, and wiring specialists. Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, or emergency work, you can count on APEC Electric. Give them a call at 463-2199. That's APEC Electric at 463-2199.
One of the most common types of pollution from businesses is contaminated water runoff, which carries oil, grease, or other chemicals that drip or spill onto the ground into the street. This water continues through our communities untreated until it reaches the Santa Ana River and eventually the ocean. Contaminated runoff from your business is a violation of local laws for which you could pay a fine. So please, sweep outside areas and put the debris in the trash. Never hose them down or sweep into the curb or storm drain. Make sure dumpsters have lids to reduce blowaway litter, and call your trash hauler to replace your dumpster if it leaks. Empty mop water and other dirty water into a mop sink or floor drain. Do not illegally dump the water outside. Use non-toxic cleaning products whenever possible. Dispose of all toxics such as pesticides and cleaning products through a hazardous waste hauler. These items are too toxic to trash. And obtain spill containment and cleanup kits for your business. For more information about stormwater pollution prevention, please call 800-CLEANUP or the City of Rancho Cucamonga at 909-477-2740 extension 4060.
The right side to kick things off for the Quakes here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch swinging, ground ball left side, handled by the shortstop Jeffrey Dominguez, and the throw to first is in time. 1 pitch, 1 out for Sidney Bayo here in the bottom of the fifth, scoring that ground ball 6-3. So Fuller gone. Here's Nate Sutton, the number 9 hitter, tripled and scored back in the third inning. Quakes have gotten single runs in the third and the fourth, and then Empire got 2 in the third and 1 in the fourth. Nate Sutton in from the left side, the native of Santa Cruz, California. 24th round pick out of UC Santa Barbara back in 2004. Fastball down and away to Nate, and it's the ball and no strikes. Sutton, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. Fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Nate hitting .247 this year. Couple of home runs and 16 runs batted in. Fastball just on the outside corner. And it is 2-1. Sun has set, and night has almost officially fallen here in Rancho Cucamonga. Fastball barely on the outside corner again, and it's even now at 2-2. Outfield straight away on Sutton. 2-2 from Sidney Bayo. Went to a curveball and dropped it down in the dirt. It's full 3-2. Payoff pitch to Sutton. Line drive towards the gap in left center field. This will get down, and that's a base hit for Nate Sutton. Wide turnaround first, but he'll stop at first with a one-out single as Brent Johnson did a good job to cut that ball off over there in left center field. But Nate Sutton has himself a two-hit night, a triple and now a single. Let's see how long Nate Sutton stays at second base. Sutton is 11 out of 14 in stolen base attempts this year. And the Quakes have successfully stolen 2 bases against J.B. Tucker tonight. Sandoval stole third, and Ben Johnson stole second back in the 4th inning. And Sutton has good will. Not going here, as Bayo missed low and outside to the leadoff man, Josh LeBlanc, for ball 1. And out for a talk is the aforementioned catcher, J.B. Tucker. Fans, want to remind you, Quakes baseball brought to you in part by Round Table Pizza of Rancho Cucamonga. Bring in your Quakes ticket stub and get yourself a large one-topping pizza for just $10.99 plus tax. You can visit Round Table Pizza at 7201 Archibald Avenue, or give them a call at 980-8040 for delivery. And Round Table Pizza provided the press box food here tonight. We appreciate it. Always good eating on a Saturday night with Round Table coming through. Fastball strike just barely at the knees on Josh LeBlanc, who was not overly impressed with that call. The count is even at 1-1. LeBlanc 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out back in the 3rd. Ronnie Prettyman even with the bag at 3rd. Middle infielders back at double play depth. Pitch out. Swung at anyway by Josh LeBlanc. And safe at second is Nate Sutton. But now the question becomes, why did Josh LeBlanc swing at that pitch? He swung at a pitch out. I guess he was trying to distract J.B. Tucker. Maybe it worked. Nate Sutton was able to steal second base anyway. But instead of being ahead in the count 2-1, now LeBlanc is behind in the count 1-2. The big thing is that Sutton is in scoring position as the tying run. There's a curveball and a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Josh LeBlanc goes down looking. 4th strikeout of the night for Sidney Bayo. And now there are 2 gone, and we'll see if Sean Rodriguez can come through. So Sutton gets his 12th stolen base of the year. He's now 12 out of 15 in that department. And he's the tying run in scoring position out at second base, and we'll see if Sean Rodriguez can bring him in and maybe tie this ball game up. Rodriguez tonight 0 for 2. He has struck out both times. Once in the 1st and then again to end the 3rd. Right-hander against right-hander. Pickoff attempt at second base, and back in standing up was Nate Sutton as the shortstop Jeffrey Dominguez received the throw. This is game 3 of a 5-game series here in Rancho Cucamonga. Quakes lost the opener 14-5 back on Thursday night, then came back and rolled to a 9-4 win last night. Look back by Bale. First offering to Sean Rodriguez. Fastball on the outside corner. That's 0-1. Rodriguez hitting .292. Team leader with 15 home runs. And he is second on the club with 43 runs batted in. Bale steps off and looks Nate Sutton back to the bag at second. Outfield straight away on Sean Rodriguez, native of Miami, Florida. 3rd round pick out of high school back in 2003. 0-1. Curveball swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Look back to second by Bayo. Now the 0-2. Curveball in the air to center field. Hit pretty well, but I don't think it's hit well enough. Johnson on the warning track will have room. Sean Rodriguez hits it to one of the gaps. He's got maybe a home run, at least extra bases. Just hit it to the wrong part of the yard right there and flies out to deep center field. And Sidney Bayo gets out of it with Nate Sutton being stranded at second base. Quakes in the 5th. Get no runs after the one-out single by Nate Sutton. No Inland Empire errors and a runner left in scoring position. Quakes have left 3 men on base in the first 5 innings. All 3 have been left in scoring position. As we go to the 6th, Quakes are trailing the Sixers 3-2.
A few years ago, a small bank from Rancho Cucamonga started sending shockwaves through the banking industry. Vineyard Bank rolled through Southern California with a creative force that is changing the way we bank. We created small ripples at first, with innovative ways to move money quickly and effectively, where it would help businesses and families the most. Then our reputation grew stronger thanks to personal bankers with a can-do attitude committed to building lasting relationships. Vineyard Bank's financial performance was off the scale. A fast-growing bank with a rising stock. New, customer-friendly branches offering easy access to your money, opening throughout the Southland. Online banking on our award-winning website at www.vineyardbank.com. That's Vineyard Bank, proud to be your hometown bank, proud to support our hometown team. For more information, please call 1-800-442-4996. That's 1-800-442-4996.
The 2006 Rancho Cucamonga Quakes aren't always playing baseball at the Epicenter. During their downtime, you can catch them playing the official gaming console of the 2006 Quakes, Xbox 360. Xbox 360 is the most powerful video game and entertainment system out there, delivering the best games, the next generation of premier Xbox Live online gaming services, and unique digital entertainment experiences that revolve around you. Xbox 360, available now at your local retailer. Jump in at www.xbox.com for more information.
Top of the 6th, middle third of the order, due up for Inland Empire. Fernando Rodriguez still out there for the Quakes, beginning his 6th inning of work. And here in the 6th, he'll get Brian Schweiger, Matt Rogelstad, and Jack Arroyo, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, due up for Inland Empire. Line scores look like this. Inland Empire, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Quakes, 2 runs on only 3 hits, and they've committed 1 error. And that 1 error led to the run that is holding up as the difference right now. The Quakes are down 3-2. Brian Schweiger in for the right side to lead off this 6th inning. Looks at a fastball for a strike from Fernando Rodriguez, and the count 0-1. Schweiger 0 for 2, ended the first with a strikeout, then ended the third where they pop up to the first baseman, Baltazar Lopez. Swing and a miss on a fastball here. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Brian Schweiger from just down the road in Rialto, California. Local boy coming home. A 16th round pick back in 2003 with Schweiger. 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is strike 3. 3 straight fastballs, and it all adds up to the 2nd strikeout of the night for Fernando Rodriguez. Schweiger has been the victim both times. Went down looking in the first, now down swinging to start the 6th, and there's 1 away. Bring the first baseman, Matt Rogelstad, to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Has grounded out twice to the right side of the infield. Once to Lopez, the first baseman, and once to Sutton, the second baseman. First pitch, taking a fastball. That's on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Michael Collins setting up inside. Fastball down low this time from Fernando Rodriguez. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Rogelstad hitting .221. No home runs, 14 runs batted in. 1-1, fastball just off the plate outside. And he's ahead in the count now, 2 balls and a strike. This is Rogelstad's 24th game of the year. He's got sent back down from AA San Antonio. Fastball upstairs there, and it's 3-1. Outfield a little bit around towards left. 3-1 to Matt Rogelstad. Line into left field. That's a base hit as Freddy Sandoval tried to climb the ladder and came up a little bit short. Base hit the opposite way for Rogelstad. And Inland Empire with a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 6th. Fans want to remind you, Quakes Baseball brought to you in part by Esther Tacos in Upland. Serving authentic Mexican food 7 days a week, Esther's features tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and fajitas. Give them a call at 946-8111 for catering information. Or visit Esther Tacos on the corner of Foothill and Grove in the Red Hill Shopping Center. And enter to win 3 Quakes tickets. Change up for a strike on the second baseman for Inland Empire, Jack Arroyo, and the count 0-1. Quakes down 3-2 here in the top of the 6th. 1 on, 1 out for Inland Empire. Rogelstad held at first by Baltazar Lopez. 0-1 to Arroyo. Swing and a miss on his curve. And it's 0-2. Arroyo 0 for 1 tonight. He popped up in the second. Then was hit on an 0-2 pitch back in the fourth. Eventually came around to score what is holding up right now as the lead run for Inland Empire. Toss over to first, and Rogelstad back standing up. Now, Rogelstad does not have a stolen base in his first 23 games this season. He's 0 for 1 in that department. Infielders looking for a ground ball. Quakes turn double play to end the 5th inning. The curveball inside. It's 1-2. Quakes have done a good job turning double plays throughout this season. Turned a couple yesterday. Had one back on Thursday night. So they can get a ground ball here. 1-2. Fastball called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Jack Arroyo goes down looking. Third strikeout of the night for Fernando Rodriguez. He's gotten a couple of them here in the top of the 6th. And now with 2 away, here's Chris Colton, the right fielder. Colton 1 out of 2. Singled in the second, but then was thrown out trying to steal second base to end that inning. And then grounded out in the 4th. Right-hander against right-hander. Fernando Rodriguez from the stretch. First pitch swinging. Chris Colton fouls it back and will get over the roof and out of play. And the count 0-1. Rogelstad still leading away from first. The 0-1. Curveball inside. And it's even at 1-1 on Chris Colton. Colton from Noonan, Georgia. 15th round selection back in 2001. Toss over to first. Back standing up once again is Matt Rogelstad. Colton played a year of junior college baseball at Middle Georgia Junior College. So draft and follow. Fastball down low there. And it's 2-1. And the term draft and follow refers to when a major league team drafts a player, they have the rights to that player for a calendar year. Now, sometimes, say you take a guy in the first round, maybe you sign him right away. Sometimes you take a guy, like Chris Colton in the 15th round, and you want him to sign right away, and Colton says, you know what, I'm going to go to school for a year, and we'll talk after this next season. The parent club, the major league club, is not in a bad position then, because they get to evaluate one of their draft picks for another season. Fastball down low, and it's 3-1. And sometimes the draft pick will have a really good year and will put themselves in a position to get more money once they sign than they would have if they had signed, when they first were drafted. Sometimes guys will get hurt or they'll lose velocity or, they'll just have a bad year. And the Major League club may say, hey, you know what, we're not going to offer you as much as we offered you before. Fouled back. The count goes full now, 3-2 on Chris Colton. Other times it's a wash. A guy goes to junior college and does exactly what the parent club expected he would do, and they reach an agreement that's similar to what they had laid out beforehand. Rogelstad will be going with this pitch. There he goes away from first, 3-2. Line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Matt Rogelstad coming around second will go to third. A 2-out base hit to left for Chris Colton. That will put runners on the corners with 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Couple of singles and a couple of strikeouts here in the top of the 6th. Quakes trailing 3-2. And Eric Bennett, the pitching coach, going to go out for a talk with Fernando Rodriguez. Now, the advantage for guys who are draft and follows to go to a junior college is that, if you go to a junior college or a community college, which are only 2-year schools, you can play only one season and be eligible to sign. Whereas if you go to a 4-year college, you have to play at least 3 seasons before you can go back into the draft. So that's the debate between going to a 4-year or going to a community college. Now, we had lots of times, maybe a guy, comes out of high school, goes to a CC, and then transfers from that junior college into a 4-year school. That'll happen at times, too. So it's depending on what the player needs to get done in order to make themselves as attractive as possible to a major league club to try and get signed and eventually make the big leagues. Conference is over. Here's J.B. Tucker. Right-hander against right-hander. The first offering to Tucker. Change up for a strike of the knees. It's 0-1. There is action in the Quakes bullpen. Aaron Pullen, the right-hander, is getting loose. Tim Duff came jogging down the left side from the dugout. They begin warming up, pulling down in the left field bullpen. Quakes down 3-2 here in the top of the 6th. Runners on the corners with 2 out for Inland Empire. J.B. Tucker has been aboard twice. Once on an infield single, the other time on a walk. Here's a ground ball to Sandoval at third base. He'll go the short route for the out at second, and that gets Fernando Rodriguez out of the inning here in the top of the 6th. Chris Colton forced out at second base, 5-4. The scoring on the fielder's choice, and despite a couple of singles, nothing doing for Inland Empire here in the top of the 6th as they strand runners on the corners. Sixers get no runs on 2 hits, no Quakes errors, and 2 are left. To the bottom of the 6th we go. It's still close, but the Quakes still on the wrong end of a 3-2 score.
In this day and age of mass manufacturing, isn't it nice to know that some things are still done by hand? At Flores Wrought Iron, their craftsmen specialize in hand forgery and custom wrought iron work for new and existing structures. Whether it's custom work or repairs on fences, gates, railing, or pool enclosures, each piece is beautifully crafted to complement your home or building. Whether it's for your business, home, or condo, you can rely on the experts at Flores Wrought Iron. See their work online at floreswroughtiron.com.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the other book, not the other book. Grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, false teeth, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, Bombay, wide whale. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the other book. Let your fingers walk into the other book, not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Quakes down a run here in the bottom of the sixth, where they've got the heart of the order due up against the right-hander Sidney Bayo. Starting with the number 3 hitter, Freddy Sandoval, who's in from the left side and takes a fastball for a called strike one. Sandoval to start. He'll be followed by the cleanup man, Pat Riley, and then the all-star Michael Collins. So 3, 4, and 5 for the Quakes here in the bottom of the sixth. 0-1. Curveball swung on and missed. Sandoval way out in front of that one. And it is 0-2. Sandoval led off the fourth inning with a double his last time up. Stole second base and then came home to score the Quakes' second run of the game. Curveball down low there from Bayo. And it is 1-2. Outfield straight away on Freddy Sandoval. 1-2 from Bayo. Curveball down and in. Bouncing away from the catcher, J.B. Tucker. And the count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Freddy Sandoval, the native of Tijuana, Mexico, hitting .282 this year. 4 home runs and 26 runs batted in. 2-2. Another curveball, and it's down in the dirt again. Sidney Bayo was ahead in the count 0-2. Now has fallen in love with that curveball a little bit. And has thrown 3 straight balls with the old number 2. And the count has gone full, 3-2. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter from the windup. Payoff pitch, fastball outside, and that's ball 4. There you go. Freddy Sandoval down to the count 0-2. Takes 4 straight balls and draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the sixth. And now we'll pose the same question that we posed back in the fifth after Nate Sutton singled with 1 out. How long will Freddy Sandoval stay at first base? Sandoval has already stolen 1 base tonight. He stole 3rd back in the 4th inning. On the year, Sandoval is 16 out of 20 in stolen base attempts, and the Quakes are 3 for 3 tonight in stolen base attempts against the catcher, J.B. Tucker. As Bayo, with that on his mind, made a toss over to first, and Sandoval dives back in. Quakes down 3-2 here in the bottom of the sixth, with the tying run aboard with nobody out. Now a pinch hitter, as Drew Toussaint has come to the plate. Another toss over to first. So Pat Riley is done. And Drew Toussaint coming in to bat right-handed against the right-hander Sidney Bayo. I'm not sure if anything happened to Pat Riley. Fastball off the plate inside to Toussaint. And the count 1-0. So Toussaint pinch hitting in a big spot here in the bottom of the sixth. Another toss over to first, and again Sandoval dives back in. DT this season batting .238. Second on the club with 10 home runs, and he has driven in 24. Toussaint, a native of Compton, California. Getting to play in front of friends and family for the first time in a few years in his professional career. Pops this one foul off to the right, and it's 1-1. Toussaint spent last year down in Cedar Rapids, which is not all that convenient to just swing by and visit from downtown Los Angeles. Spent the 04 season in Provo, which again is not all that convenient from downtown LA. Played his college baseball at Southern, which is in Louisiana. Again, pretty far away. But now he's got friends and family at almost every game. His wife Portia is able to come see him play. His little boy Justin able to come see him. Curveball a little bit high, and it's 2-1. The nice moment back on Father's Day is a couple of the Quakes, Cliff Remily and Dan Hawkins, were out there with their dads, and then he had Drew Toussaint holding his little boy as part of Father's Day celebrations. Another toss over to first, and again, Freddy Sandoval dives back in. Sandoval definitely in the mind of Sidney Bayo, the right-hander. Trying to protect a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the sixth. Quakes have never led in this ball game, but have never trailed by more than 2 runs either. 2-1 to Toussaint. A ground ball rolled over to Prettyman at third. Just second for one, and the relay to first is in time. That's a killer, a 5-4-3 double play. The leadoff walk is erased, and there are two gone here in the bottom of the sixth. So Toussaint grounds into the twin killing with Sandoval forced out on the play, and now with two away, here's the catcher, Michael Collins. He's in from the right side. First pitch swinging, lifts it foul back over the roof and out of play. And the count 0-1. Michael Collins does not have an official at-bat tonight. He was hit by a pitch in the second, then delivered a sacrifice fly back in the fourth for his 50th RBI of the season. J.B. Tucker setting up outside. Curveball missed high from Sidney Bayo. And it's even at 1-1. Night has completely fallen here on a very pleasant Saturday night in Rancho Cucamonga. 1-1. Curveball swung on and missed as it bounces away from Tucker. And the count goes to 1-2. Michael Collins, an all-star this season. And deservedly so. 303 batting average, 5 homers, and 50 runs batted in. A 1-2 curveball swung on and missed, and that is strike three. J.B. Tucker will throw down to first to complete the strikeout. 5th of the night for Sidney Bayo, and that does it for the Quakes here in the bottom of the sixth. The inning started with promise when Sandoval drew the leadoff walk, but Bayo got the double play off the bat of Toussaint, then strikes out Collins. And down go the Quakes in the sixth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. To the seventh we go. It's still Inland Empire 3 and Rancho Cucamonga 2.
You wouldn't want your favorite sports team to only play offense or only play defense. So when it comes to insurance, why settle for someone that can handle only your auto policy? Bring your home and auto insurance to Allstate now, and you can save big on both. You deserve someone that can assist you more. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands? Hey, sports fans, call Allstate agent Doug Moore at 909-463-6716 today. Subject to availability and qualifications, Allstate Insurance Company, Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, and Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you not finding what you want as you search for furniture? Search no more. Stop by Route 66 Memories and Rustic Furniture. We offer a unique selection of rustic furniture. Route 66 memorabilia, tiki bars, bamboo gazebos and palapas, and tiki poles. You'll also find custom-made sheet metal dinosaurs and other animals. Pottery, patio furniture, and fountains, too. Stop by 10150 Foothill Boulevard in Rancho Cucamonga. Route 66 Memories and Rustic Furniture. Something for everyone. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Friends and family visiting you this summer? Don't worry. Add a room instantly by calling your friends at the Red Roof Inn. Red Roof Inns offer quality rooms, friendly service, great rates, and kids stay free. Plus, as a Ready Card preferred member, you'll earn points towards free room nights. With 360 Red Roof Inns nationwide, you'll find locations everywhere, including Ontario, San Dimas, and Victorville. Visit us today at redroof.com or dial 800-RED-ROOF.
Top of the seventh here in Rancho Cucamonga. And the Quakes trailing 3-2. Before we get to the action, folks, we have reached the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Let's go ahead and step aside for station identification. You're listening to the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes Radio Network.
You're listening to Rob Sinclair and Quakes Baseball right here on AM 1370 KWRM, Corona, California.
Fernando Rodriguez out there for his seventh inning of work for the Quakes. First offering to the number 9 man, Jeffrey Dominguez. The changeup swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Dominguez to start, then back to the top of the order with Brent Johnson and Casey Craig, 9, 1, and 2. Due up for the 66ers here in the top of the 7th as Dominguez lines this one into right field. That's a solid leadoff single for the Inland Empire shortstop and the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 7th. So Dominguez with his second hit. And now here's Brent Johnson, the center fielder. He's in from the right side. 1 for 2 with a single his last time up in the 5th is Brent Johnson tonight. On the year, he's hitting .307 with 1 home run and 27 runs batted in. Toss over to first and back in safely is Jeffrey Dominguez. Dominguez held at first by Baltazar Lopez. Freddy Sandoval in on the grass at third, anticipating a potential bunt from Brent Johnson, who has already put down 1 sacrifice bunt in this game. Not showing bunt here, however, swinging away, and he popped it up. Got the green light, and he can't take advantage into shallow right center field. Cody Fuller will make the catch. Brent Johnson flies out, and that's a big first out here in the top of the 7th. That's kind of surprising. A 1-run ball game, and you thought Jeff Carter maybe would want to play for a single run and get a little insurance, get a little breathing room here in the top of the 7th after that leadoff hit from Dominguez. And like we said, Brent Johnson had already put down 1 sacrifice bunt, but was not asked to do it for a second time. And he ends up popping out to shallow right field. Now here's Casey Craig, the left fielder. He's in from the left side, tossed over to first. And Dominguez back safely. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Casey Craig 1 for 3, had an RBI ground out in the 3rd, then singled his last time up in the 5th. First pitch, a pitch out, going on the play is Dominguez, thrown out to second in time to get him. Michael Collins throws out his 3rd base runner of the night as Dominguez is caught stealing 2 to 4. And there are 2 away here. How about Michael Collins coming into this ball game? Collins had thrown out just 9 of 55 base stealers. That was 16%. As now Craig tried to bunt and fouled it at the plate. It's 1-1. And Collins had thrown out just 16% of base stealers coming into this one tonight. Now tonight he has thrown out 3 out of 4. The only guy who stole a base against Michael Collins was Jack Arroyo, who got a huge jump back in the 4th inning on his way to stealing 3rd base, and there was nothing that Collins could have done about that. Collins didn't even make a throw because Freddy Sandoval was late covering the 3rd base bag. I mean, Arroyo was sliding into 3rd base by the time Sandoval was getting over to the bag. So now what could Collins have done about that one? Changeup swung on and fouled back by Casey Craig, and it's 1-2. But a heck of a night behind the plate for Michael Collins tonight, as he has thrown out 3 would-be base stealers. And in a 1-run ball game, you never know, what those runners potentially could have done. Curveball outside, it's 2-2. Rodriguez steps off. I mean, all 3 of those base stealers, or would-be base stealers, were trying to steal second base. You're talking about if Collins doesn't get them, 3 more runners that Inland Empire would have had in scoring position tonight. 2-2. Fastball down low, and it's full on Craig, 3-2. But instead, they all get thrown out. And, credit Rancho Cucamonga. They have not had a lot to work with tonight. They've only gotten 3 hits, but they are hanging around and hanging around. And if you get into the Inland Empire bullpen, anything can happen. Here's the swing, and a fly ball hit pretty well out towards left. Toussaint back on it, will make the catch on the run. Craig ended up sending that one out to the warning track, but Drew Toussaint, the new left fielder for the Quakes, remember he replaced Pat Riley as a pinch hitter back in the bottom of the 6th. goes back and makes the catch on the run, and that does it for the 66ers here in the top of the 7th. Dominguez led off with a single, but Collins threw him out trying to steal. And Rodriguez gets a couple of fly ball outs after that. No runs, a hit, no errors, and none left. Fans, we've been over this. You know what time it is. Get on up and stretch them out. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Quakes trailing 3-2.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
This Quakes broadcast is brought to you in part by Charles Fisher at America's Lending, on the cutting edge of mortgage financing. By Shelton's Poultry, celebrating over 80 years of being a proud American business. By Cherry Blossom Furniture Collection, dreams turning into reality. And by First Watch Home Inspections. We never stop working for you.
Galliano Winery, located at 1431 Wineville Road in Mariloma, California. In business since 1927, the Galliano family's roots run deep in Cucamonga Valley's winemaking history, offering a unique array of 25 varieties, including award-winning wines as well as custom label. The Galliano tradition continues to grow in the Inland Empire. Try the latest award-winning wines in a relaxed country atmosphere of the tasting room. Enjoy a tour of our landmark complex or relax in the beautiful picnic grounds. To reach Galliano Winery, call 909-685-5376. That's 909-685-5376. Or stop by Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Bottom of the 7th, and the night is done for Sidney Bayo, as he gives way to the right-handed reliever Justin Jordan here in the bottom of the 7th. Quakes trailing 3-2. Fans, want to remind you that Quakes baseball is brought to you in part by our good friends at Bobby Baja's in Rancho Cucamonga, offering the very best tri-tip California barbecue and Baja street food in the Inland Empire. Let Bobby Baja's cater to your family, just like they cater to the Quakes press box. Bobby Baja's on the corner of Foothill and Vineyard in Rancho Cucamonga, or give them a call at 989-9925. So Quakes down 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. And leading things off, the switch-hitting DH Ben Johnson. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. First offering from Justin Jordan, a fastball fouled back, and it's 0-1. Ben Johnson, Baltazar Lopez, and Cody Fuller, 6, 7, and 8. Do it for the Quakes here in the bottom of the 7th. Johnson tonight, 0 for 1, with a walk and a stolen base his last time up in the 4th. 0-1, fastball down low from Justin Jordan, 1 ball and 1 strike. And close the book on Sidney Bayo. He turns in a quality start, going 6 innings and allowing just 2 runs on 3 hits. Leaves in line for what could be his 5th win of the year. 1-1, down low, 2 balls and a strike. 2 walks on the night for Sidney Bayo, 5 strikeouts, and he also hit a batter. And threw a wild pitch just for good measure. As Johnson stands back in. Jordan from the windup, 2-1. In the air, left field towards the corner, hit pretty well. On the run, Casey Craig, not going to get there. It is off the wall and bouncing past Casey Craig. At least a double for Ben Johnson. Big turnaround second. Now he's got to hustle back in as he almost overturned second base. But gets back in, a double off the wall in the left field corner for BJ. And the Quakes with a tying run in scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th. Ben Johnson drove that one deep the opposite way. Picks up his 11th 2-base hit of the year. And now let's see what the strategy becomes with Baltazar Lopez coming to the plate. And have to imagine that Bobby Mitchell will ask Lopey to put down a sacrifice bunt here. Johnson, the tying run at second with nobody out. Lopez tonight 0 for 2. He has flied out in the 2nd and then struck out swinging in the 4th. Ended the inning both times. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Braven creeping in from third, and Lopez calls time and steps out. Again, the final line for Sidney Bayo tonight. 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and a hit batter and a wild pitch. Now, so second baseman Jack Arroyo went in to talk to Justin Jordan. Had a quick word with him, and now jogs back to the second base. Long look back at second, and now Jordan will step off. Still has not thrown a pitch to Baltazar Lopez. Tell you about Justin Jordan. This is the first time we've seen him. A right-hander from Brentwood, Tennessee. Jordan 6'5", 210 pounds. Signed as a free agent back in 2005. First offer to Lopez, swinging away, and he lines one sharply foul over towards the picnic area in left field. And the count 0-1. Jordan signed as a free agent out of Belmont University last year. Actually, he was playing independent ball before he got signed by the Seattle Mariners. Time was called again this year. Justin Jordan is 2-2 with a 4.46 ERA. He's on for the 14th time. That includes 6 starts, so this is the 8th time he's been on in relief. And now the pitching coach, Scott Budner, wants to go out to talk to Jordan, as Bobby Mitchell will go down and have a word with Baltazar Lopez. This is a big spot here in the bottom of the 7th. Quakes are down 3-2. It's been that way ever since the 4th. We've got the leadoff man aboard. That's Ben Johnson, who doubled to start this inning here in the bottom of the 7th. Lopez behind in the count 0-1. And Bobby Mitchell did not have the bunt on the first pitch that Lopez got, as Budner has gone back to the dugout now. If Jordan's ready to throw a pitch. Now Lopez did show bunt and missed it, and the count goes to 0-2. So they gave Lopez a chance to swing away. He fouled it off, now misses the bunt. And now with the count 0-2, the bunt is probably off again. Because if he bunts this one foul, it's a strikeout for Justin Jordan. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Jordan from the stretch. 0-2, high fastball, swung on and missed. And that is strike 3. Baltazar Lopez strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. Unable to move up Ben Johnson. And now here's Cody Fuller. Cody Fuller is 0 for 2, but he's riding a world-class hot streak right now. On a 4-game hitting streak. Coming into tonight, he was 8 for his last 13. First pitch swinging, and a 2-hopper to the shortstop, Jeffrey Dominguez. Throw to first is high, and not in time as Wogelstad couldn't get the tag on him. Ben Johnson had to stay at second, but Cody Fuller reaches on the throwing error by Jeffrey Dominguez. And that'll put the go-ahead run on base for the Quakes here in the bottom of the 7th. Rancho Cucamonga down 3-2. But Johnson the tying run at second, and Fuller the go-ahead run at first. Tell you some more about Justin Jordan. In 38 1/3 innings, he's given up 42 hits, and he has more walks than strikeouts this year. 17 walks, only 15 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .273 against him. See what Nate Sutton can do. He's got a couple of knocks. First pitch, fastball low, and it's 1-0. Nate Sutton tonight has 2 of the 4 hits for the Quakes. A triple back in the third, a single back in the fifth, and he's also scored a run. In from the left side, the 1-0 from Jordan. Fastball down low, and Sutton checked his swing. It is 2 balls and no strikes. Justin Jordan has not faced the Quakes this year. This is his first appearance of the year against Rancho Cucamonga. Quakes trying to tie this game, perhaps take the lead for the first time all night here in the 7th. 2-0. Fastball down low and past J.B. Tucker as it rolled away on him. And going down at third and safe at third just barely is Ben Johnson on the pass ball. Both Johnson and Fuller got a late break on that one, as Tucker got probably 90% of that one with his glove, but it trickled past him. But his body was blocking the ball. That's why Johnson couldn't tell that the ball was behind him. Cody Fuller, the runner at first, could see, and he was screaming at Johnson to move up. And Johnson turned on the jets and just barely beat the throw of J.B. Tucker. So a pass ball moves Johnson to third and Fuller to second. Now the 3-0 to Sutton. Fastball on the outside corner. It's 3-1. But the plot grows thicker here in the 7th. Quakes with a chance to take the lead if Sutton gets something good to hit here, and he's ahead in the count 3-1. And interesting that Inland Empire is leaving the middle infield back. They are not drawing the infield in here, even with the tying run 90 feet away. We'll see if Nate Sutton can take advantage of it. Quakes have always trailed in this ballgame. The only time the game was tied was when it was scoreless. And that changed back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 3-1 to Sutton. Fastball, strike at the knees. And it is full, 3-2 now. Nate Sutton this year hitting .247, 2 home runs, and 16 runs batted in. Tying run is at third. Go-ahead run is at second for the Quakes. Only 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And the 3-2 to Sutton. Curveball wrapped foul outside of first base. The hitting coach, Craig Graybeck, hops out of the way, and we'll do it again. Josh LeBlanc waiting on deck. First base is open. And again, the middle infielders playing back at normal depth. 3-2. Popped up, trying to get into foul ground. Tucker with the mask off behind home plate, and he'll run out of room. As that one gets 3 rows deep behind the 66ers dugout on the first base side. Nate Sutton catches a break, and we'll do it again. Inland Empire got 2 in the 3rd. Quakes got a run back in that inning. And they traded runs in the top and bottom half of the 4th. Well, the Quakes giving away the run in the top of the 4th on a botched rundown. And since the 4th inning, it has always been 3-2. Quakes with their best opportunity yet, however, to tie it up here in the bottom of the 7th. Payoff pitch from Jordan. Swung on, and a chopper to the first baseman. Rogelstad coming home on contact. Running over Schweiger, but out at the plate is Ben Johnson as Schweiger hung on. And there are 2 gone. Ben Johnson brought the noise, but J.B. Tucker hung on to the ball. I think I said it was Schweiger. It was J.B. Tucker who got run over there at the plate. So he's going to have to fix a piece of his equipment. Perhaps his mask got busted there, but Ben Johnson, coming home on contact, is out on the plate. Rogelstad fielded that high chopper, threw to the plate, and somehow J.B. Tucker hung on. So it's a fielder's choice for Nate Sutton. Johnson is out 3-2. Cody Fuller goes to third on the play. The Quakes still have a chance. Tying run is still at third base, but now there are two gone. Can't fault the approach from Ben Johnson right there. Johnson listed at 5'11", 205, and he's a very compact and muscular 205. He's got a head of steam. Can't blame him for trying to railroad J.B. Tucker right there, and just got to tip your cap to Tucker being able to hold on to the ball. So now it's on the shoulders of Josh LeBlanc here in the bottom of the seventh. Quakes still down 3-2. Fuller, the runner, at third. Sutton aboard at first. And Josh LeBlanc 0 for 3 tonight. They have an RBI ground out in the third, however. First pitch. Fastball strike from Justin Jordan, and it's 0-1. Josh LeBlanc in a tough stretch in his last 10. He's just 8 for his last 42. And is 1 for 9 in the first two games of this series. 0-1. Fastball down and away. LeBlanc checked his swing. It's a ball and a strike. It's not likely that would happen, but let's not count out the possibility with good speed on the base paths that Bobby Mitchell does have the option of a potential double steal at his discretion. But again, I don't think it's very likely here. 1-1, ground ball into right field, a base hit, and Josh LeBlanc has tied it up for the Quakes. Going from first to third is Nate Sutton. Fuller comes in to score, and we've got ourselves a brand new ball game. Josh LeBlanc could not have picked a better time for his first hit of the night, as he gets his second RBI of the game. 23 on the year now for JB, and he comes through with 2 out here in the seventh to tie it up. Cody Fuller scores. Nate Sutton goes from first to third. And now the All-Star, Sean Rodriguez, comes to the plate with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Sean Rodriguez tonight 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to deep center field his last time up in the fifth. First offering from Justin Jordan. Fastball down low. And it's 1-0. Good crowd on hand tonight. We were talking about them earlier. 4,560 in the seats tonight. 4,500 plus. Taking it all in on a gorgeous Saturday night for baseball. And we've had a good one to bring to them tonight. Tied at 3 here in the bottom of the seventh. Right-hander against right-hander as Jordan tries the old fake to third, fake to first. Either runner falling for it. Sutton at third, LeBlanc at first. Excellent speed on the base paths. Now a toss over to first. And back standing up is Josh LeBlanc. Can Sean Rodriguez come through here in the bottom of the seventh? .292 hitter this year. 15 homers and 43 RBIs. The 1-0. Swung on and fouled back to the netting. And we're even up at a ball and a strike. Rodriguez comes from a great baseball family. His father, Johnny, a hitting coach in the Florida Marlins organization down in the Gulf Coast League. His older brother, Robert, a catcher in the Washington Nationals organization. Sean, the youngest of 4. 2 older sisters and his older brother, Robert. 1-1 on the way. Down in the dirt, bouncing away from Tucker, and coming in to score is Nate Sutton as the Quakes take the lead. A wild pitch by Justin Jordan, and the Quakes, for the first time tonight, are on top. It's 4-3. That ball bounced away from Tucker and actually ended up all the way in the Quakes dugout on the third base side. And Sutton was not hesitating, and the Quakes have the lead. 2 balls and a strike to count on Rodriguez. Now a fastball just barely at the knees to even it up at 2-2. Quakes have gotten a pair here in the bottom of the 7th. And a chance for insurance with LeBlanc in scoring position now. There's the 2-2 to Rodriguez. Low and away with a fastball, and it's full 3-2. Freddy Sandoval waiting on deck. Well, folks, what did we talk about in the top of the 7th? When Jeffrey Dominguez led off with a single and was caught stealing. Collins has thrown out 3 base runners tonight. The Quakes have hung around and hung around. And now they've got the lead, the 3-2 to Rodriguez. See ya! I swing hard. 2-run bomb, and it's 6-3. Hooah! There was no doubt about it. Justin Jordan grooved a fastball right down the middle, and Sean Rodriguez knew exactly what to do with it. He parked it over the wall in left center. And that ball was absolutely demolished. 16th of the year for Rodriguez. As Sandoval looks at a fastball down low. RBIs 44 and 45 for Sean Rodriguez. And the Quakes have put up 4 here in the 7th, and they're on top 6-3. Sandoval looks at a strike there, and we're even at 1-1. In from the left side. There's a curveball from Justin Jordan. The count 1-2. Jordan back to working from the windup. 1-2. Fastball called strike 3 on the outside corner. Generous outside corner right there from the plate umpire Jonathan Conrad, and that does it for the Quakes here in the bottom of the 7th. But not before they rough up Justin Jordan for 4 runs on 3 hits. A leadoff double by Johnson started the inning. They were helped by a throwing error, a wild pitch, a pass ball. An RBI single by LeBlanc tied it. Wild pitch gave the Quakes the lead, and then Rodriguez hit the 2-run homer to give the Quakes a breathing room. 4 runs on 3 hits. Helped by an error by Inland Empire, and no runners left aboard. To the 8th we go. Quakes leading for the first time. It is 6-3.
Fans, for all your real estate needs, call Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga at 909-373-1768. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, call on the name you can trust. Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga, partners in our community. With multiple offices to serve the Los Angeles, San Bernardino, Riverside, and Orange County areas, they can help you whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing. That's Century 21 Excellence of Rancho Cucamonga, partners in our community. Call them at 909-373-1768. Again, 909-373-1768.
Great moment in Laughlin history. Jeff from Barstow tries out his new camera phone.
Hey, Jeff sending pictures from Laughlin.
Looks like you rented a jet ski.
Cool. Now he's floating by a pontoon boat.
Are there girls on there?
Yeah, those are girls.
Are they hot?
Yeah, and they're really tan. I think he's in a casino now.
Are the girls with him?
They're blowing on his dice. Nice, he won.
Good. He owes me money.
They're in a nightclub now.
Whoa.
Knee-deep in females.
Well, that never happens when we're with them.
Hello?
Hey, man, you got shoes. I'm down here.
Jeff says hello.
Uh-huh.
I hate Jeff.
Laughlin, Nevada. founded on fun.
I don't want to know what that is.
For information, call 1-800-4-LAUGHLIN or go to visitlaughlin.com.
Top of the 8th, and it's a brand new ball game as the Quakes have a 6-3 lead, and Fernando Rodriguez still going strong out there for his 8th inning of work. As Ronnie Prettyman showed bunt, pulled the bat back, and the fastball missed down low. It is 1-0. Prettyman, Schweiger, and then Rogelstad, 3, 4, and 5 for Inland Empire here in the top of the 8th. Curveball, there's a strike. And that evens the count at 1-1. Quakes up 6-3. Got 4 in the 7th to take the lead. The 1-1 down and in. Bouncing away from Michael Collins. It's 2 balls and a strike. Fernando Rodriguez has 1 start longer than this tonight. That was back on May 22nd against High Desert when he went 7 1/3. There's a swing and a miss on a fastball by Ronnie Prettyman. And it's even at 2-2. Prettyman tonight 2 for 3. Had a couple of base hits in the first and the third, including an RBI single in third, and hit into a double play back in the 5th at 2-2. In the air, left field, high and not overly deep. As Toussaint will make the catch over near the line, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the 8th. Fans, want to remind you, Quakes baseball brought to you in part by Red Hill Barbecue of Rancho Cucamonga. Located at 8111 Foothill Boulevard on the corner of Foothill and Grove. Red Hill Barbecue is the home of the $3.99 lunch special. Give them a call at 920-0558 for catering information, or visit them from 11 to 9 Monday through Thursday and 11 to 10 Friday and Saturday. The catcher, Michael Collins, will go out for a talk with Fernando Rodriguez. So Fernando Rodriguez has now matched his longest outing of the year at 7 1/3 innings. He has given up 3 runs tonight, only 2 of them earned. And now facing Brian Schweiger. First offering, fastball outside corner, it's 0-1. Right-hander against right-hander. Quakes up 6-3 here in the top of the 8th. Fastball outside corner, it's 0-2. Schweiger 0 for 3. Struck out twice and popped to first. There's a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Sounded like Schweiger got jammed a little bit on it, but he's still able to muscle it over the head of Sean Rodriguez at short. And a 1-out base hit for the Inland Empire DH. Fans, my name is Rob Sinclair. Thank you once again for spending a little bit of your Saturday night with us here on the Quakes Radio Network. Want to say hi to one of the biggest Quake fans of all, Tim Aguilar. Listening over the airwaves tonight. Tim, a familiar face around here at the Epicenter. Good to know that he's tuning in tonight and enjoying it, I'm sure. First offering to Mal Rogelstad. Line foul down the left field side, and the count 0-1. Fans trying to get the wave going in front of us. Again, 4,500 plus in the seats here tonight. They've gotten some fireworks on the field, and there will be fireworks after the game as well. Fireworks after the game tonight, and then after the game Monday night as well. They got a good wave going here now. The 0-1 to Matt Rogelstad. Fastball right down the middle. It's 0-2. Rogelstad tonight 1 for 3. Singled his last time up in the 6th. Quakes would love a ground ball right here. They have turned 1 double play already tonight. The 0-2. Down and in, and Rogelstad picks his foot out of the way to avoid being hit. It is 1-2 now. Rogelstad hitting .221 this season. No homers, 14 RBIs, 1-2, and a curveball slipped out of the hand of Fernando Rodriguez and went all the way back to the backstop. Nothing Michael Collins could do about that one, as Rodriguez uncorks the very wild pitch. And that moves Schweiger into scoring position at second base as the count goes to 2-2 on Matt Rogelstad. Do not see any action in the Quakes bullpen right now. Aaron Pullen was getting warmed up earlier. And there are some guys standing around right now, but I don't see anybody throwing. We'll look back to second, the 2-2. Fastball down low. And it's gone full now on Rogelstad, 3-2. Jack Arroyo is waiting on deck. Arroyo followed by Colton and Tucker, all three hit right-handed. 3-2, line drive right back up the middle and through into center field. Schweiger got a late jump, and he will hold at third. LeBlanc gets it back to the infield. Schweiger wasn't sure if that one was going to ricochet off Fernando Rodriguez or not. Got a late jump away from second base, so has to hold at third, but runners on the corners now as Rogelstad gets his second hit, and that will be all for Fernando Rodriguez as Bobby Mitchell is out, and we are going to have ourselves a pitching change here in the top of the eighth. So Inland Empire, after blowing the lead in the bottom of the seventh, will now bring the tying run to the plate with only one out here in the top of the eighth as Fernando Rodriguez gets a well-deserved round of applause from the fans and some high fives on his way back to the dugout. And we have ourselves a pitching change here in the top of the eighth. Quakes leading it 6-3. We'll step aside for 1 minute and see how it all pans out. You're listening to the Quakes Radio Network.
You wouldn't want your favorite sports team to only play offense or only play defense. So when it comes to insurance, why settle for someone that can handle only your auto policy? Bring your home and auto insurance to Allstate now, and you can save big on both. You deserve someone that can assist you more. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands? Hey, sports fans, call Allstate agent Diane Combs at 909-986-1257 today. Subject to availability and qualifications, Allstate Insurance Company, Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, and Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by SoCal Sportswear in Downey. SoCal Sportswear is the official provider for the LA Sparks and for Long Beach State as well. Your high school or college will enjoy all-star workmanship at all-star prices. Call 562-923-0909. That's 562-923-0909. SoCal Sportswear in Downey will put your name or logo on any type of hat, visor, tank, T-shirt, short, jacket, you name it. SoCal Sportswear in Downey. When you want it right the first time, 562-923-0909.
Right-handed side armor Kevin Lynch, who is on out of the bullpen for the Quakes here in the top of the eighth inning. And this is the situation Lynchy comes into. Quakes up 6-3 and trying to keep it that way. Lynch will inherit a couple of runners. Brian Schweiger at third, Matt Rogelstad at first. They're both the responsibility of Fernando Rodriguez. To be honest with you, folks, we don't care about them. Got to get the guy at the plate, because Jack Arroyo is the potential tying run. First offering. Nice little change up on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Quakes up 6-3 here in the eighth. Arroyo 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and has scored a run tonight. Right-hander against right-hander. This one inside almost hit him. And it's even up at 1-1. The vitals on Kevin Lynch, a right-hander from Fort Pierce, Florida. 6'2", 200 pounds. A 26th round pick out of Florida State in 2005. This one in the air, deep left center field, but Toussaint has a beat on it. He'll make the catch in front of the warning track. Tagging up from third is Brian Schweiger. He'll come home to score. Well, the Quakes will trade a run for an out here in the top of the 8th. As Arroyo hits the sacrifice fly to left center, and that makes it a 6-4 game. So Schweiger comes in to score. Rogelstad still at first. Jack Arroyo gets his 6th run batted into the season. So that run will get charged to Fernando Rodriguez. And now we'll see how Lynch works to the right fielder, Chris Colton, who has 2 hits tonight. First offering to Colton. Slider down and away, and it's 1-0. Outfield deep and straight away. Ground ball foul outside of the third base bag. That'll bounce into the seat. And the count even at 1-1. Quakes playing the no doubles defense, which means they will give up something in front of them to avoid an extra base hit with something going over their heads. Slider way outside. It is 2-1. Kevin Lynch on the year, 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 save, and a 1.75 ERA. Ground ball past the diving Sean Rodriguez and threw into left field, and the tying run is aboard on Chris Colton's 3rd single of the night. Matt Rogelstad goes to second, and Colton, again, the tying run now aboard at first as the inning continues for J.B. Tucker, the catcher. And more action in the Quakes bullpen. Kevin Jepsen, the closer, getting warmed up. Quakes leading at 6-4 here in the top of the 8th. Tucker is 1 for 2 tonight. He has singled, he has walked, and he has scored a run. Looks at a change-up strike there from Kevin Lynch, and it's 0-1. The softer Lynch throws, the more his ball moves. That's the rule of thumb. He rarely breaks 82 or 83. This one in the air, left center field, high and deep, long run. Toussaint will get there to make the catch. Oh, Drew Toussaint on his horse got a good jump and makes the catch as Lynch gets the final 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Gave up a couple of deep fly balls, but it doesn't matter where they're hit as long as they're caught. And Inland Empire, despite having the tying run on base, gets only a run here in the top of the 8th. A bunch of the Quakes waiting for Toussaint to jog back from left field to high-five him before he even gets to the dugout. Inland Empire gets a run on 3 hits. No Quakes errors, and the Sixers leave 2 aboard. The 2 tying runs left on base. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Quakes still held it on to a 6-4 lead.
Hey fans, Rob Sinclair here reminding you that any night is a great night to enjoy Quakes baseball. Our Monday Madness promotion gets you 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and 2 popcorns for just $12. Come out for Weenie Wednesdays and enjoy delicious Farmer John hot dogs for just $1. And every Thursday, quench your thirst with $1 beers and sodas on Dave & Buster's Thirsty Thursday. To order Quakes tickets in person, stop by the Epicenter from 10 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturday. You can also order by phone by calling 909-481-5252 or buy tickets online at rcquakes.com.
How far a team goes in the season often depends on the coach. It's the coach's job to make the right decision every time. When you're deciding on a mortgage loan, the knowledgeable staff at HealthQuest Mortgage can coach you in the right direction. Any type of credit is accepted, and they have rates starting at just 1%. Credit card debt, you can save on interest by consolidating it into a home loan. Find out more by calling 909-945-8878 or log on to healthquestmortgage.com.
HealthQuest Mortgage. The journey begins here.
In baseball, there are day games, night games, and even the occasional twilight doubleheader. But you'll never see a first thing in the morning game. That's because mornings are for Farmer John. Whether it's delicious hardwood smoked bacon, savory sausage, or juicy ham steaks, they're all made fresh right here in the Southland. There's even Farmer John quick serve bacon and sausage. It's ready in seconds. So share your afternoons and evenings with the Quakes. But mornings are for you and Farmer John. Get fresh. Get Farmer John.
bottom of the 8th here at the Epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga. Quakes with a 6-4 lead and looking to build off of it against the right-hander Jose De La Cruz. Toussaint will lead things off. Made a couple of nice catches back in the top of this 8th inning and looks at a strike here. It's 0-1. Toussaint, Collins, and Johnson, 4, 5, and 6. Middle third of the order due up against De La Cruz. This one inside-out swing, little blooper down the right field line, a fair ball and a base hit for Toussaint. He will stop at first as the throw went back into first. And boy, if that one hadn't skipped past the first baseman, Matt Rogelstad, Chris Colton, the right fielder, may have doubled off Drew Toussaint. It was close. Well, the ball skipped past Rogelstad, and Toussaint safe at first with a leadoff single the opposite way. So the leadoff man aboard. Quakes up 6-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. And Michael Collins coming to the plate. Cubbies had a good night. Got hit by a pitch to get aboard in the second. Collected his 50th RBI of the year on a sacrifice fly in the 4th. And then struck out in the 6th. Right-hander against right-hander. First pitch, bouncing ball charging in. Prettyman with a tough play at third. Throws on the run and gets his man. Collins out at first. But a nice play by Ronnie Prettyman as Toussaint moves into scoring position at second base. A little tapper off the end of the bat. And Prettyman had a little snow cone action there as he came in making the catch on the run. Got the out at first, but Toussaint moves up to second. And now we'll see if Ben Johnson can bring him home and restore a 3-run lead for the Quakes. Johnson tonight 1 for 3 with a walk, a double, and a stolen base. Switch hitter in from the left side. De La Cruz, the right-hander from the stretch. First offering, fastball away, and it's 1-0. Jose De La Cruz from the Dominican Republic originally. 6'6", 180 pounds. Spent last season in the Midwest League with the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays in the Tampa Bay organization. Fastball up high there to Ben Johnson, and it is 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball, strike at the knees, and it is 2-1. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. 2-1. Line foul down the left field side and out of play, and it's even at 2-2. Jose De La Cruz on the season. A record of 0-2. 8 saves and a 3.66 earned run average. He is on tonight for the 26th time this year, which is the most on the Inland Empire pitching staff. There's the 2-2 to Ben Johnson. Little pop-up. This will barely get off the infield. Arroyo, the second baseman, will make the catch. Johnson pops up, and there are 2 gone with Toussaint still at second base. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, Inland Empire will have Dominguez, Johnson, and Craig, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up. Kevin Jepsen continues to throw in the Quakes bullpen. Undoubtedly, we will see him in the top of the 9th, as he will go after his 11th save of the year. Quakes were down 3-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. Then with 2 away, they scored 4 runs to take a 6-2 lead, now leading 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Here's Baltazar Lopez. First pitch swinging from the left side. Fouls it off to the left and out of the ballpark. It's 0-1. Lope 0 for 3. He has fly to left and struck out twice. Outfield straight away, the 0-1 from De La Cruz. Fastball outside, it's 1-1. Folks, do want to pass along a quick big league score. The Parrot Club got a win today. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers 9-2 in the Freeway Series. Kelvin Escobar with his 6th win of the year, and former Quake Michael Napoli with 2 home runs. Here's a bouncing ball to the right side. Jack Arroyo, the second baseman, picks it clean and throws out Baltazar Lopez. Score that one 4-3, and that will do it for the Quakes here in the bottom of the 8th. Unable to capitalize on Toussaint's leadoff single. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're through 8 complete. To the 9th we go. Quakes 3 outs away from a win, leading this one 6-4.
It's your first game. You got your glove?
Yeah.
Good boy. All right, bright blue sky, beautiful green grass. You know, there's nothing better than baseball in summer.
I guess.
Hey, where's that peanut guy?
Dad, we're in the living room.
Hooked on a clear picture? Get hooked on Charter HD TV with a picture 5 times sharper than regular TV plus theater quality sound. You watch television like never before. Get local channels in high definition with no equipment to buy. Go where satellite can't. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked. Service not available in all areas. Prices may vary.
Are you a first-time home buyer? Want to buy a home with 0 down? Are you wanting to sell and wondering how much your home is worth? Well, stop wondering and log on to freecaliforniahomesecrets.com. You'll find 25 fast and easy ways to get top dollar when selling. That's freecaliforniahomesecrets.com. And Charles Fisher with America's Lending, a premier real estate organization providing you with a no-pressure approach. Call Charles Fisher with America's Lending at 909-958-5120.
This is Rob Sinclair, the voice of the Quakes for the Ontario Airport Marriott. If you're looking for a great place to eat, the Ontario Airport Marriott features the D Street Sports Bar and Grill, open daily from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m., the Pacific Grill for the fine diner, or stop by the 24-hour Pacific Deli. The Ontario Airport Marriott is located at 2200 East Holt Boulevard, just off the 10 freeway. The Ontario Airport Marriott, a proud sponsor of your 2006 Quakes on the radio.
Top of the 9th, and the Quakes have brought on the closer, Kevin Jepsen. Trying to close out what would be a come-from-behind 6-4 win. Quakes leading by a pair here in the top of the 9th, despite being out-hit 13-7 in this ball game. Quakes hung around, and then finally got 4 in the bottom of the 7th to take the lead for the first time all night. Here it is in the 9th, 6-4, and Jepsen on. Trying to close it out and make a winner out of Fernando Rodriguez. Dominguez, Johnson, and Craig, the 9-1 and 2 hitters, due up for Inland Empire here in the top of the 9th. Dominguez, the switch hitter, in from the left side, and Jeffy misses outside with a fastball. It's 1-0. Jeffrey Dominguez, 2 for 3, couple of singles, a run scored. Fastball on the outside corner. It's even at 1-1. Tell you about Kevin Jepsen. A right-hander from Sparks, Nevada, 6'3", 215 pounds. Jeffy, a second-round pick out of high school back in 2002. Fastball down low, and it is 2 balls and a strike. On the year, he is 0-2, 10 saves, and a .355 earned run average. This is his 27th relief appearance. 2-1 to Dominguez. Fastball outside. It is 3 balls and a strike. Jepsen in 25 1/3 has 29 strikeouts. 29 Ks, 16 walks, the 3-1. Blew a fastball past him. It's 3-2 now. Opponent's hitting .268 against Kevin Jepsen this year. He's given up just 10 earned runs in 25 1/3, the 3-2. Fastball high, and that's ball 4. Leadoff walk, an inauspicious debut here in the top of the 9th. As Dominguez is aboard for free. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate. Just the second walk given up by Quakes pitching all night. And now back to the top of the order. Brent Johnson, the center fielder, will stand in for the right side. Johnson tonight is 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th. He also put down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. First pitch, down low in the dirt, bouncing away from Collins, and a wild pitch will move Dominguez up to second. Count goes to 1-0 on Brent Johnson. All right, fans, let's take stock of the situation right here. Dominguez is at second. We don't care. All right, Quakes have a 2-run lead. So Dominguez can score. It's not going to make a difference. Jepsen just needs to calm down, focus on the guys at the plate, get these next few hitters, and get out of here with a W. 1-0. Fastball inside to Brent Johnson, and it is 2 balls and no strikes now. Johnson hitting .307 this year. 1 homer, 27 RBIs. 2-0. Swung on and fouled back. And it is 2-1. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Kevin Jepsen working out of the stretch. Outfield deep and relatively straight away against Brent Johnson. And again, playing the no doubles defense. 2-1. Ground ball hit sharply, but right at Nate Sutton at second. Picks, throws, got him. Score that one 4-3. Jeffrey Dominguez moves up to third, but again, we don't care about that. And what we do care about is the first out here in the top of the ninth. Now it's Casey Craig at the plate. 1 for 4 with a single and an RBI ground out. As he will stand in from the left side. Michael Collins with an outside target. First pitch from Kevin Jepsen in the air, center field. Deep enough to score a run. LeBlanc will make the catch. And Dominguez will come in to score. Again, big deal. That makes it 6-5. But as long as you get the guys at the plate, you're going to be all right, because Inland Empire now down to their final out. Craig with his second RBI of the night. He's now got 6 RBIs on the year. So Dominguez scores on the sacrifice fly. Well, like we said, we don't care about that. Quakes are still up by a run, 6-5 now. Get Prettyman at the plate, and we can all go home happy. Base is empty. 2 gone here in the ninth. Quakes up a run. First offering to Prettyman. In the air. Left center field. This will drop for a base hit. A 2-out single for Ronnie Prettyman. And it won't come easy for the Quakes tonight, as he keeps this ninth inning going. Now the tying run on base. The go-ahead run coming to the plate. And Eric Bennett, the pitching coach, coming out for a quick talk with Kevin Jepsen. Fans want to remind you that the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim won today 9-2 behind a couple of home runs by former Quake Mike Napoli. So congratulations to him. Elsewhere in a ball game that doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of people out here, Cleveland defeated Cincinnati 12-7. Nothing really spectacular in that ball game aside from the fact that a young man named Ryan Garco got his first major league hit. Ryan Garco was part of the championship club in Kinston back in 2004 when I was there. So I know this will probably fall on deaf ears, but Garc, congratulations. Still have a Ryan Garco back. He's from out here in Walnut, California. So congratulations, Ryan Garco. First big league hit in Cleveland's win over Cincinnati tonight. Pinch runner, Josh Womack is now at first. And a fastball up high to the DH Brian Schweiger. It's 1-0. So Womack running at first. He's the potential tying run. Schweiger, the potential go-ahead run at the plate. Quakes up 6-5 here in the top of the ninth. Trying to win their second straight game after having lost 6 in a row. Tossed over to first, and Womack dives back in. Obviously not a stolen base situation for Womack, but he is 8 out of 15, so he's got decent wheels. Held at first by Lopez. 1-0. Fastball strike right there. It is 1-1. Brian Schweiger tonight is 1 for 4. Singled and scored his last time up in the 8th. He has also popped up and struck out twice. Right-hander against right-hander. The 1-1 from Jepsen. Swung on and fouled. Sharply up the first base side. It is 1-2. And now the 66ers down to their final strike here in the top of the ninth. Quakes trying to improve to 6-4 against their closest geographic rival. Schweiger calls time and steps out. This crowd of 4,500 plus really quiet. Some of them trying to come alive. There's the 1-2 from Jepsen. Went off speed and left a curveball up high. It's 2-2. Kind of surprised they're not trying to get the crowd more involved right here. This is a big spot. People sitting on their hands like it's the ballet or something. Come on, get loud, get rowdy. The 2-2. Called strike three. Struck him out looking. Now the crowd gets it. And that's the ball game. Quakes hang on for a 6-5 win. And it's 2 in a row as Jepsen nails it down in the ninth. In the ninth, Inland Empire threatened, but they had turned away empty-handed. Dominguez walked to start the inning and scored on the sacrifice fly. Womack, the potential tying run, left at first base as Jepsen gets out of the inning unharmed. And the Quakes win this ball game by a final count of 6-5. Inland Empire in the ninth, a run on a hit, no errors, and a runner left to the final score tonight. Quakes 6 and the 66ers 5. We'll step aside for 90 seconds. Come back with the post-game totals, and we'll wrap things up from here at the Epicenter. Quakes win it by a single run tonight, 6-5 the final score. We'll be back in a minute and a half. You're listening to the Quakes Radio Network.
Friends and family visiting you this summer? Don't worry. Add a room instantly by calling your friends at the Red Roof Inn. Red Roof Inns offer quality rooms, friendly service, great rates, and kids stay free. Plus, as a Ready Card preferred member, you'll earn points towards free room nights. With 360 Red Roof Inns nationwide, you'll find locations everywhere, including Ontario, San Dimas, and Victorville. Visit us today at redroof.com or dial 800-RED-ROOF.
A few years ago, a small bank from Rancho Cucamonga started sending shockwaves through the banking industry. Vineyard Bank rolled through Southern California with a creative force that is changing the way we bank. We create small ripples at first, with innovative ways to move money quickly and effectively, where it would help businesses and families the most. Then our reputation grew stronger thanks to personal bankers with a can-do attitude committed to building lasting relationships. Vineyard Bank's financial performance was off the scale. A fast-growing bank with a rising stock. New, customer-friendly branches offering easy access to your money, opening throughout the Southland. Online banking on our award-winning website at www.vineyardbank.com. That's Vineyard Bank. Proud to be your hometown bank. Proud to support our hometown team. For more information, please call 1-800-442-4996. That's 1-800-442-4996.
Back here at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga, where the Quakes tonight win their second straight ball game by a final count of 6-5 over Inland Empire. When was the last time the Quakes won back-to-back games? June 3rd and 4th against these Inland Empire 66ers. It had taken almost a month for the Quakes to win back-to-back games, but they've done it 9-4 last night and 6-5 here tonight with the victory. The Quakes improved to 3-6 in the second half, 35-44 overall now. Quakes got just enough, 6 runs, as they maximized 7 hits. Committed 1 error, left 4 men on base. And all 4 runners were left in scoring position. Inland Empire, meanwhile, drops to 5-3 in the second half, 44-34 overall. 5 runs on 14 hits for Inland Empire, but all 14 hits were singles. Not a lone extra base hit in the bunch for Inland Empire tonight. They also committed 1 error. They left 8 men on base, 3 of them in scoring position. The winner tonight for Rancho Cucamonga was the right-hander Fernando Rodriguez, as he gets the victory and improves to 7-4 on the year. Fernando Rodriguez works into the 8th inning as he goes 7 1/3 innings tonight. That is equal to his longest start of the season. 7 1/3 as he turns in a quality start, giving up 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 12 hits, but Well, he got the win, so we have to say he scattered 12 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts for Fernando Rodriguez tonight. Taking the loss for Inland Empire in relief, it was Justin Jordan, who falls to 2-3. Jordan worked the decisive 7th inning, gave up 4 runs. Not a single one of them was earned, however, because of a costly Inland Empire error there in the 7th inning. All the same, Jordan falls to 2-3. 1 inning, gives up 4 unearned runs, 3 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and Kevin Jepsen, despite giving up a run in the 9th, closes it out for his 11th save of the year. As he goes 1 inning, gave up a run on a hit with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. So again, Rancho Cucamonga with the victory. The Quakes now 3-6 on the year, 35-44 overall, 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 4 left. Inland Empire falls to 5-3 with the loss. They are 44-34 overall, 5 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, and 8 left. On the personal side of things, Fernando Rodriguez gets the win. He is now 7-4. Justin Jordan takes the loss. He is now 2-3. And the save to Kevin Jepsen, number 11 on the year for Jeffy. Fans will go ahead and say so long for right now, but don't go anywhere because Yellow Book USA post-game show is coming up next. We'll come back, take a look at how the runs were scored in this one, take a look at what the Quakes did individually in this ball game, and, of course, get you all set up for tomorrow afternoon's ball game as the Quakes will have their first 5:05 start of the year on a Sunday. And they will also have the debut of Nick Aidenhart, who comes up from single-A Cedar Rapids. So that's all coming up on the Yellow Book USA postgame show. So long from now. Yellow Book USA postgame show is next. Quakes win it 6-5. You're listening to the Quakes Radio Network.
Rancho Cucamonga Quakes baseball has been brought to you in part by the Ontario Airport Marriott, Vineyard Bank, Charter Media, Galliano Winery, the City of Laughlin Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sprint, Chipotle, Red Roof Inn, the City of Rancho Cucamonga, Allstate Insurance, Farmer John, Xbox, Yellow Book USA, and NationwideSurveys.com. KWRM 1370 is the radio home for Quakes baseball all season long. This has been Rancho Cucamonga Quakes baseball. The Yellow Book USA postgame show is next. The 2006 Rancho Cucamonga Quakes aren't always playing baseball at the Epicenter. During their downtime, you can catch them playing the official gaming console of the 2006 Quakes, Xbox 360. Xbox 360 is the most powerful video game and entertainment system out there, delivering the best games, the next generation of premier Xbox Live online gaming services, and unique digital entertainment experiences that revolve around you. Xbox 360, available now at your local retailer. Jump in at www.xbox.com for more information.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fish and tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the yellow book, not the other book. Grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, false teeth, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, Bombay, wide well. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the yellow book. Let your fingers walk into the yellow book, not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Welcome to the Yellow Book USA post-game show. Look your information up in Yellow Book, not the other book. This is Quakes Baseball.
Fans, welcome back to the Yellow Book USA post-game show. We're on the air, and tonight we celebrate for the second straight night a Quakes victory, 6-5 tonight, the final score over the Inland Empire 66ers. As we take a look at how the runs were scored in this one, Inland Empire opened the scoring for the second straight night, and the Quakes came back. It's only the 7th time all year that the Quakes have come back to win when not scoring first. Quakes are now 7-30 when the opponent scores first. And it's happened in back-to-back nights. Inland Empire opened the scoring with a couple of runs in the top of the third, as you can probably hear the fireworks going off in the background, even though we've got the window shut here. J.B. Tucker and Jeffrey Dominguez led off that third inning with base hits. Casey Craig then got the Sixers on the board with an RBI groundout, and Ron Prettyman came through with a 2-out RBI single to score Jeffrey Dominguez, and that made it 2-0. Quakes got a run back in the bottom of the third. Nate Sutton, with one away, hit a deep drive towards right center field. As he rounded second, the Quakes skipper, Bobby Mitchell, had his hands up, telling Sutton to stop at second. Sutton ran through the stop sign and ended up getting to third safely. So he turned what could have been a double into a one-out triple, and that was big because on the very next pitch, Josh LeBlanc, with the infield playing back, took advantage by hitting a ground ball to the second baseman, Jack Arroyo. That brought Nate Sutton home to score, and that got the Quakes on the board as they were down 2-1. Teams then traded runs in the top of the fourth, but Inland Empire got a run that they should not have gotten in the top of the fourth. Arroyo, with one out, was behind in the count 0-2, and Fernando Rodriguez lost control of a fastball and ended up hitting Jack Arroyo. A ground out moved Arroyo to second. He then stole third base, and then with runners on the corners, the Quakes called for a pitch out, and J.B. Tucker broke for the second base bag. The Quakes got Tucker into a rundown. Were doing everything right. They were, keeping an eye on Jack Arroyo at all times, making sure that he stayed close to the bag at third. And on a throw to the first baseman, Baltazar Lopez, which probably would have ended the rundown and gotten the Quakes out of the inning, Lopez dropped the ball. And that allowed Tucker to reach second base safely. Jack Arroyo came in to score, and that put Inland Empire on top 3-1. But the Quakes did come back and get a run back in the bottom of the fourth. Freddy Sandoval led off with a double to left center field. He then stole third base, and Michael Collins came through with a sacrifice fly to center. And that brought the Quakes back to within a run at 3-2. It stayed that way until the seventh. Quakes had a chance in the fifth. They got Nate Sutton to second base with one out, but couldn't bring him in. Had a chance in the sixth. Freddy Sandoval walked to lead off the inning, but nothing came of that. Meanwhile, the Quakes had to survive a leadoff single from Brent Johnson in the fifth. They ended up getting a double play to get out of that inning. In the sixth, Fernando Rodriguez stranded runners on the corners. Finally, in the bottom of the seventh, the Quakes got the big runs that they were looking for. And again, none of the runs were earned against Justin Jordan, who came in as the first man out of the bullpen for Inland Empire tonight. In the bottom of the seventh, Ben Johnson led off the inning with a double, went to third on a pass ball. Baltazar Lopez struck out after that double. Then Cody Fuller reached on an error, a throwing error by the shortstop Jeffrey Dominguez on a routine ball to short. Dominguez threw high to first, and even though Matt Rogelstad came down on the bag, he tried to tag Cody Fuller as he went by and just was late with the tag. Fuller beat it out. The error was key in that inning on Jeffrey Dominguez. That put runners at first and second. A pass ball moved both runners up. So Johnson was at third as the tying run. Fuller was at second as the go-ahead run. Nate Sutton hit a bouncer to the first baseman, Matt Rogelstad. Ben Johnson was coming home on contact. Rogelstad threw to the plate. Johnson ran over the catcher, J.B. Tucker, but Tucker hung on to the ball, and that was the second out. But the Quakes still had runners on the corners. 3 pitches later, Josh LeBlanc made Inland Empire pay for that error by grounding an RBI single into right field. That tied the game at 3 runs apiece, with Nate Sutton going from first to third on that one. A wild pitch scored Nate Sutton and moved LeBlanc to second, as Jordan did himself no favors there. That put the Quakes on top 4-3, and then Sean Rodriguez, after battling his way to a full count, sat on a fastball, and Justin Jordan threw one right down the middle, and Sean Rodriguez just destroyed it over the wall in left center field. His team-high 16th home run of the year. Every home run he hits adds to his career-high total, and that turned a 4-3 game into a 6-3 game. And that was the backbreaker right there, because Inland Empire got a run in the 8th. They got one in the 9th. They pulled to within a run, but Kevin Jepsen closed it out in the top of the 9th. Brian Schweiger was called out on a curveball to end the ball game. as Jepsen struck him out looking, and that's how the Quakes hold on tonight by final count of 6-5. Really well played ball game. Good crowd on hand here tonight, and we had a fun time bringing it to you as the Quakes give us something to celebrate. 6-5, the final score. Fans will go ahead and step aside for 60 seconds. Come back and take a look at what the Quakes did individually in tonight's ball game. That's coming up in just 1 minute. You're listening to the Yellow Book USA postgame show.
Hey fans, Rob Sinclair here reminding you that any night is a great night to enjoy Quakes baseball. Our Monday Madness promotion gets you 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and 2 popcorns for just $12. Come out for Weenie Wednesdays and enjoy delicious Farmer John hot dogs for just $1. And every Thursday, quench your thirst with $1 beers and sodas on Dave & Buster's Thirsty Thursday. To order Quakes tickets in person, stop by the Epicenter from 10 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 2 on Saturday. You can also order by phone by calling 909-481-5252 or buy tickets online at rcquakes.com.
USA postgame show. Quakes win it tonight by a final count of 6-5 in nail-biting fashion over the Inland Empire 66ers. Taking a look at what the Quakes did individually in tonight's ball game. Josh LeBlanc went 1 for 4, had a clutch RBI single there in the bottom of the 7th. That's what tied the ball game up for the Quakes. Made it a 3-3 game. He also had an RBI ground out in the 3rd. So all told, Josh LeBlanc goes 1 for 4 with a single, 2 RBIs, and a run scored in tonight's ballgame. Sean Rodriguez, his first 3 at-bats, nothing really spectacular. A couple of strikeouts. He flied out to deep center field in the 5th, but then in the 7th, with 1 on and 2 out, crushed a 2-run homer to left center field. His career-high 16th home run of the season. RBIs 44 and 45 on the year for Sean Rodriguez. He finishes 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer and a run scored. Freddy Sandoval had a nice game in the number 3 spot, going 1 for 3 with a walk, a double, a stolen base, and a run scored. Freddy Sandoval now 16 out of 20 in stolen base attempts on the season. Pat Riley started the game in left field, went 0 for 2, is replaced by Drew Toussaint, who finished 1 for 2, hit into a double play in the 6th, but then singled in the 8th to Drew Toussaint. Michael Collins, the all-star catcher, was held hitless, but did get on board when he was hit by a pitch for the team-high 18th time this year. Back in the 2nd inning, Collins then added a sacrifice fly in the 4th for his 50th RBI before striking out and grounding out in his final 2 at-bats. Ben Johnson finishes 1 for 3 with a walk, his 5th stolen base of the year. He's a perfect 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts, and a double back in the 7th. Another solid night for Ben Johnson. Baltazar Lopez 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Cody Fuller goes 0 for 3, but does reach on that costly throwing error by Jeffrey Dominguez, the Inland Empire shortstop there in the bottom of the 7th. That's what helped lead to those 4 unearned runs, which ended up winning the game for the Quakes there in the bottom of the 7th. So all told, Fuller goes 0 for 3, reaches on an error, and scores a run. Nate Sutton, another big night down in the number 9 hole. Sutton picks up 2 hits, a triple and a run scored in the 3rd, a single, and his 12th stolen base of the year in the 5th, then reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the 7th. All told, Sutton goes 2 for 3, a single, a triple, 2 runs scored, and his 12th stolen base of the year. Pitching-wise, Fernando Rodriguez started and got his team-high 7th win of the season, working into the 8th inning for the 2nd time this year. Rodriguez improves to 7-4, goes 7 1/3 innings, gives up 4 runs, 3 of them earned, scattered 12 hits, all of them singles, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts for Fernando Rodriguez as he turns in his 6th quality start of the season. Kevin Lynch got a couple of very big outs in the top of the 8th, did allow an inherited run to score, but got the 2 outs that the Quakes were looking for there in the 8th. For Lynch, it is his 5th hold of the season. He goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Kevin Jepsen came on in the 9th, walked the leadoff man, Jeffrey Dominguez, first batter that he faced, threw a wild pitch. Eventually, Dominguez came in to score on a sacrifice fly, but hey, when you're working with a 2-run lead, you can allow that run to score because you still got that cushion, and Kevin Jepsen used it to his advantage, gets the save, gets the final 3 outs, there in the top of the ninth for Jepsen. His 11th save of the year. 1 inning, gives up a run on a hit with a walk, and he struck out Brian Schweiger looking to end the game. Fans, one last 60-second break. We'll come back, take a look at the scores from around the California League, and tell you everything you need to know about tomorrow night's broadcast, as well as the Quakes will have their first 5:05 start of the year. Because, remember, Sundays in July and August, 5:05 starts as opposed to 2:05 starts. That's all coming up in 1 minute. You're listening to the Yellow Book USA post-game show.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the Yellow Book, not the other book. Fences, gates, inline skates, artists, posers, florists, grocers, water coolers, makers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, frosty, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, Bombay, white whale. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into the Yellow Book. Let your fingers walk into the Yellow Book, not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
And welcome back to the Yellow Book USA post-game show here in a quickly emptying epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga. Fans got what they paid for and more. Quakes win it 6-5 tonight. And they also put on a nice fireworks show for a crowd of 4,560. Fans, one last note before we take a look at the scores from around the California League, something that we touched on during the game, haven't touched on it yet here in the Yellow Book USA postgame show, and that's the job that Michael Collins did defensively. Collins, who has had a lot of trouble throwing out base runners. Obviously, there's more to the game defensively than just throwing out base runners, but it is a large part. Collins, just 9 out of 55 in throwing out base runners this year. That's only a 16% success rate in terms of throwing out base runners, but tonight he was outstanding. He threw out 3 base runners. He threw out Chris Colton trying to steal second to end the second inning. Then he threw out Brent Johnson trying to steal second in the 5th after Johnson had led off that inning with a single. And what did you know? Very next pitch, Casey Craig singled. So, I mean, you go from potentially having guys at first and second, maybe first and third with nobody out, to having a guy at first with 1 out there in the top of the 5th. And then the final one came in the top of the 7th. Jeffrey Dominguez led off with a single, and Michael Collins threw him out trying to steal second base. And, you know, for Inland Empire, they had 14 hits tonight, but all 14 were singles. So lots of times we'll talk about turning a single into a double by using the stolen base, and Michael Collins had a great night. Throws out 3 base runners tonight, all 3 thrown out trying to steal second base. You know, and you're talking about 3 guys that never made it into scoring position for Inland Empire. In a 1-run ball game, that's 3 chances to get that tying run that Michael Collins took away single-handedly by throwing out base runners. So a great job by Michael Collins. Wanted to make sure that we touch on that before we get to other things here in the Yellow Book USA postgame show. Great job by Michael Collins defensively. Take a look at the scores from around the California League tonight. Is a full slate of action in the California League tonight, and almost all the games are final. Actually, everything has gone final now, as the ball game in Lancaster just got completed a couple of minutes ago. Lancaster defeating Bakersfield tonight by a final count of 7-6. They just got over, so we may as well start with that ball game. Lancaster 7-6 over Bakersfield. They get a home run from Carlos Gonzalez, his 11th of the year, to propel the Jethawks to victory at home at Clear Channel Stadium in Lancaster. Elsewhere, Lake Elsinore gets a run in the bottom of the 8th and goes on to defeat High Desert by a final count of 6-5 down at the Diamond in Lake Elsinore. They had a big night last night. They had Tom Cruise night with the bobbing couch, making fun of Cruise's appearance on Oprah Winfrey when he professed his love for Katie Holmes, and actually had a nice piece on the news. We were watching that and cracking up after the ball game yesterday. So Lake Elsinore continuing that homestand, defeats High Desert 6-5 tonight. Kyle Stutz gets the win for the Lake Elsinore Storm. Patrick Hicklin falls to 0-6 with the loss. And Matt Varner, coming back from that 50-game suspension for steroids, gets his 4th save of the year for Lake Elsinore. They also got a home run from Colt Morton. He homers for the 2nd straight night, the 5th of the year for the big catcher, Colt Morton. Other action, a couple of ball games involving Northern Division ball clubs. San Jose at home to host Modesto, and the Giants shut out Modesto 5-1 tonight. Darren Sack improves to 3-0 with the win for San Jose. Samuel DiDuno takes the loss for Modesto. He falls to 3-4. Final score 5-1. Giants over Modesto Municipal Stadium up in San Jose. And the other final, Stockton defeats Visalia tonight 7-4 in a ball game up in Visalia, as Mike Mitchell nailed it down in the 9th for his 16th save. Ball was flying out of the yard up there in Visalia. Stockton hits 4 home runs. Landon Powell, Tommy Everidge, Myron Leslie, and Josh McCurdy all homer in that ball game for the Ports. Visalia got home runs from Chris Nowak, Wisconsin's own Chris Nowak, and Mark Schleicher, his 4th of the year. But it's not enough. Stockton over Visalia by a final count of 7-4. And, of course, our final here, Quakes hold on to defeat Inland Empire by a final count of 6-5. Fans, take a look at what is coming up tomorrow. Remember, a 5:05 start, and all Sunday home games from tomorrow for the rest of the year will be at 5:05. We do the 2:05 starts in the first half. We switch to 5:05 in the second half of play. Quakes tomorrow will send the right-hander Nick Adenhart, and there's been quite a buzz about people who are excited to see Nick Adenhart's Quakes debut, and with good reason. Look at the numbers he put up down in Cedar Rapids to start this year. Adenhart goes 10-2 for the Cedar Rapids Colonels with a 195 earned run average. So certainly we're looking forward to seeing what Nick Adenhart has in store for the Quakes here through this second half as he makes his Quakes debut at the Epicenter tomorrow. He'll start for the Quakes. Inland Empire counters with the right-hander Aaron Jensen, who is 1-2 with a 2.51 earned run average. First pitch set for 5:05 tomorrow. Will be on the air right at 5 o'clock with an abbreviated Quakes on Deck show. Again, the pitching matchups, Nick Adenhart, the right-hander for the Quakes, Aaron Jensen, the right-hander for the Sixers. First pitch 5:05, and we'll get things started at 5 o'clock with an abbreviated Quakes on Deck show. Well, fans, that's the story from here at the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga, where tonight the Quakes hung around, stuck around long enough, got 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th, and then hung on from there as they win their 2nd straight ball game. First time since June 3rd and 4th that the Quakes have won back-to-back ball games as they hold off Inland Empire by a final count of 6-5. For everyone who has been a part of this one, especially tonight's producer and director, John Souter and Joshua Souter, the best in the business for a reason, folks. My name is Rob Sinclair, wishing all of you a very pleasant good evening, and reminding you that Quakes Baseball is a presentation of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes and the Quakes Radio Network. Again, the final score here tonight, Rancho Cucamonga 6 and Inland Empire 5. So long, everybody. You've been listening to Quakes, California League Baseball.
You've been listening to the Yellow Book USA postgame show. Look your information up in Yellow Book, not the other book. KWRM 1370 is the radio home for Quakes baseball all season long. This has been Quakes Baseball.